What's the problem, officer?
Deploy from the vehicle.
If you're caught driving without a seatbelt, you will be removed from your car and shot. The police now have the authority to enforce seatbelt safety under the new Patriot Act 2. The new law is in effect now, so click it or be shot. Officers don't like doing this. They are only following orders. It's for your own protection in the never-ending fight against terrorism. Terrorist acts such as mouth noise, burping, and farting could be annoying to others. So under Patriot Act 2, eating will no longer be permitted in restaurants. Anyone eating outside the designated eating area will also be shot. It's the law. We like saying that. The law. The law. The law. The law.
It's the law. I just love the way he says that. It's 10:46 at 560 WQAM. Happy Thursday to you. Howard and Robin went home. Finally. Although a little bit too early for my taste. You tell me that they ended 10:30 yesterday?
10:30.
Now here's the bad news, which I noticed he didn't make any reference to it.
No.
The bad news, for me anyway, is that starting tomorrow, Stern goes on vacation again. I mean, I'm a piker when it comes to vacation. How many weeks has he got off a year?
About 30, man.
Brother. They did 9 shows on the station live. Oh, wait a minute. No, they didn't. Wasn't there one of them last week? Yeah, Fridays in August they played tapes, best of.
Right.
So I take that back. 8 shows live, and he was on vacation the week before they started on the station, and now starting tomorrow, he's on vacation again. Sounds like you're jealous, Neil. Damn right.
Yeah.
So the bad news about that is that when they play the best of tapes, there's no news for obvious reasons from Robin. There's not anything else because it's a little bit dated. It's kind of like those Alien and the Pope tapes we used to play. You got an Alien story later, as a matter of fact.
Get out.
Yeah. But nevertheless, so that's the bad news, that all next week I'm going to be saddled with maybe starting at 10 o'clock every day. Oh, that's going to be bad. Or maybe even before 10 o'clock, which guess what? I don't start before 10 o'clock under any circumstances. Oh, come on, Neil. That's what Duff, the dump fairy, was saying this morning. Come on, Neil. Yeah, well, maybe a minute before 10, but not like a quarter of or 9:35. So we'll let George fill in. Because George is the gopher.
Music.
Right. Play some music
I'm like
and
spackle.
play a whole medley of fart sounds, stuff like that. On our beaded curtain today, Billy beaded curtain today on NeilRogers.com. We got Letitia Costa.
See.
Nice picture, too. Letitia was born May 11, 1978 in Pointe-Audemer, France. And she's been in a whole bunch of French movies, which I'm not going to read because I'll butcher the names and I can't stand the French anyway. She also, of course, was in the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit 99 and 97 and that, and all of these things. Supermodel Letitia Costa is behind a beaded curtain, and John Ashcroft is keeping his eyes on you. Even Frankie Valli never had his eyes so closely geared to where your hands are going. So watch it. And be sure you're over the age of 65 and have lots of proofs of ID. You realize that pretty soon, like November 5th, I'm going to be like kind of a Little League senior citizen.
Right.
Well, I mean, officially senior citizen is 65, but there are some things that when you're 62, you can get like a nice rake-off on, right?
Sure.
Like what?
Cheap meals, theater admissions.
Great.
Tickets, seats, all kinds of
things. Can't wait. Freebies.
Ask your AARP. They have a full list.
Of course, most of that only happens in South Florida. You think I'm going to be spending more time to take advantage of those things?
No.
Here's George's poll from yesterday. If you didn't have to work, what would you do? Seems to me that the first 3 are kind of like all interconnected there.
Sort of. We've mentioned that there'd be some overlap.
1,789 votes, a massive outpouring from our growing audience that's growing by the minute. I would travel 845. Try to get laid 222. Well, of course, I wouldn't know anything about tying the first of those two together.
Right.
Party my ass off 181. So like I said, the first 3 of those sound like interconnected. I would do outdoor activities, kind of like Woodsy the Owl.
Sure.
156. Canoeing. What does that mean, outdoor activities?
Fishing, canoeing, kayaking.
Oh, how boring.
Things like that, hiking.
How Canadian, eh? I would do nothing, 136.
That's right.
Hey, for those people who say they would do nothing, lots of pawn shops on 441 kind of blow your brains out. We got a definite lack of good oxygen out there. I would help people, 135. You're so full of crap. Do you believe that?
Whatever.
7.5% of the audience, if they didn't have to work, if they were like independently wealthy, they had all, could do whatever they would help people.
Sure.
Right. You are so full of it, man. I can sniff it all the way across the border.
Yeah, just don't play the sound.
Play games in sports, 91. Yeah, I can imagine what kind of games and sports. Just like that sport that titty grabbing the thing we saw.
Right.
What? We can say that.
It's twisting.
Yeah.
It's a twister.
It's Twisted Sister. At the Olympics. Well, what a bunch of faggery that is. That is the biggest bunch. I've always said that we don't have to have a separate gay Olympics because that's what the Summer Olympics are. It's the gay Olympics, man. What a bunch of faggery. And I would watch games in sports, 23. I wouldn't play them. I would just sit around and watch them, 23. Like the people that watch other people play golf, for example, who already are people that have way too much time on their hands. Here's today's poll question. We ought to have about 4,000 choices on this one. What's the best food item sold at fast food joints? You know what inspired me for the poll? I was thinking last night about a good burrito supreme with no beans from Taco Bell. Yeah. Now, we do have Taco Bells all over the place here. I don't know where they are. I'll find one. Because I'm in the mood. I'm jonesing for one right now. So that's my choice, burrito supreme Taco Bell. I didn't necessarily say without beans because we don't want to make these too long, but that's my choice. I don't like them refried beans, that Mexican mush. Yeah, that's what they think M&Ms are in Mexico. Mexican mush. It's that refried bean crap. Oh, man, that is mushy, nasty garbage. And what is the point in that? What's supposed to be the big attraction with...
Filler.
Huh?
To fill in.
No, seriously, why? It doesn't taste good. It doesn't really taste like anything, just like mush. Who wants when you got a nice burrito supreme that's got all those olives and sour cream and tomatoes and that nice horse beef or whatever's in there? Why would you want to have a bunch of paste in there, like putting LePage's glue in there? So burrito supreme from Taco Bell, French fries from McDonald's, which a lot of people are going to say that, even though, of course, they put mayonnaise on them in Amsterdam, and they will kill you at McDeath. Cheeseburger at Wendy's. I don't care what anybody says, Wendy's got the best boogers.
Damn good burgers.
Chicken sandwich at Wendy's, which George and Josh seem to be leaning in that direction. And the milkshakes at Steak and Shake. Those are the first 5 choices on there. The best fast food item sold at fast food joints. Today we're talking about, I don't want to hear about White Castle and all this crap. You people live it in the past. That was great. Woves with those big, great onion rings. That was wonderful. But they've been out of business for how many years now?
About 30, man.
So enough with that. We only have to do one break now this hour, right?
That's right.
See, we have to reformat. And that ties in with this nice fax we got this morning from Geraldine. Thank you, Geraldine, for the kind words. To Neil Rogers and George, says Geraldine. I've listened to your show, Neil, many, many years. The first thing in the morning, I always turned on your station. Not a sports expert, I enjoyed the banter of Joe Rose. Yes, even Geldy.
All of these things.
And really look forward to 10 o'clock to hear you. Neil, you always said you can change the dial or turn the radio off if you don't like what you're listening to. Well, having had my fill of Stern years ago, I now find that my radio doesn't get turned on until 10 o'clock and then off because Stern's allowed to ramble on in his self-involved world until whenever. Thank God. Oh, I'm sorry, Geraldine. I work and I always have the luxury, yes, the luxury of listening to your entire broadcast. You are never, never boring. And also I find out from the dump fairy that Stern said the F word on the air. Was it this morning he said or yesterday?
This morning, I think.
This morning. Now, I mean, I don't want to get distracted and go off on a whole thing on that, but how stupid you have to be.
Medium stupid?
I mean, naturally they dumped it in New York, so it never got down the line to anybody else. But, well, what's the point? You know, when do you reach a point in your life when you finally stop being a jackass and say, why am I doing these things?
I don't know.
Maybe he's got Tourette syndrome.
That could be.
It must be. Anyway, Geraldine says, please, how do we, the listening audience, get you on at 10 o'clock? Well, the good news for you, Geraldine, is all next week you'll have me at 10 o'clock because it'll be the Sternmeister on tape, the best of Stern. And so that lasts 4 hours or less because we don't have all those great news stories from Robin. Anything else, Robin? Huh? Anything else? A huge lover of your wit, intelligence, and George. Enjoy you also, says Geraldine, although you have no wit and humor, but nevertheless she enjoys you too.
Aw.
So there you go. So we'll see what happens. Of course, tomorrow I guess you'll just go on whatever the hell they tell you to because it's just the way it is.
I got music.
You're not going to play music. Are you?
Yeah.
I really don't care what you do.
Let's go.
Okay, here's our death of the day. On death and this is so sad. Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, a psychiatrist who famously theorized in 1969 that terminally ill patients go through 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, died Tuesday at age 78 after being a prolonged bout with illness. How do you like that?
No.
And, of course, her most famous book...
She died?
In 1969 was called On Death and Dying, so I guess now that makes her a little bit more of an expert than she was before.
Let's ask her what she thinks now.
You're going to write about it, you might as well have the experience. She pioneered hospice care after working with dying hospital patients whose plight she considered intolerable. As for her own death, she was in the acceptance stage for years, said her son, Kenneth Ross. For her, death wasn't something to fear, it was like a graduation, he said yesterday. Now this is the part that's really disturbing. Kubler-Ross moved to Arizona 9 years ago after a series of strokes left her partially paralyzed on her left side. You hear that, fat boy? In a 2002 interview with the Arizona Republic, she said she was ready to die. I told God last night he's a damn procrastinator, she said. She felt that way until the end, but she made sure to enjoy her last moments by smoking cigarettes from Sarah Ferguson, Britain's Duchess of York, and by eating Swiss chocolates and shopping, said Ross. And here's the part that I find just annoying as hell. Death is simply a shedding of the physical body like the butterfly shedding its cocoon. It's a transition to a higher state of consciousness where you continue to perceive, to understand, to laugh, and be able to grow, she once said. Isn't that pathetic?
You know the format.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry, I'm trying to explain the poll here.
Explaining what?
The poll. We're putting the poll up.
Yeah. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
Don't let him distract you with a bunch of cockery. This was important. She says that death is like a butterfly shedding its cocoon. It's a transition to a higher state of consciousness where you continue to perceive, to understand, to laugh, and be able to grow. What kind of caca is that?
You just wanted to say cocoon again.
Yeah. Well, I want to say cockamoon in honor of the cockamoon lady. What kind of crap is that?
Crap?
Boy, oh boy. Is another one of these people in total denial, even though she claimed to be the expert and want to make death so much easier. But just, spoon-feeding crap. It's like stepping on an ant, baby. You step on it on a cockroach, and bada bing, it's dead. It's not thinking, it's not perceiving, it's not running around, it's not festering around and crawling on top of your sink and doing these things. It's dead. Oh, how can you say that, Neil? That's so bad. The truth really is bad. Well, that's because the Lord works in mysterious ways. He's always testing us, because he's a damn sadist. 10:57 at 560 WQM. Right now, for a limited time only, you can save more than ever before on top-selling mattresses from our good paisans at Dial Mattress. Call 1-800-MATTRESS today for extra discounts above and beyond their everyday low factory direct prices. Plus, now, you can get an extra 10% off Serta's Perfect Sleeper Magnolia, one of the great movies of all time. Combine these savings with the Dial Mattress award-winning service. They're ranked numero uno in overall customer satisfaction as winners of the 2004 Better Business Bureau Local Torch of Excellence Award. Their on-time delivery policy lets you choose the 2-hour window where you want your mattress delivered when you're going to be home, and you'll be a satisfied customer like I've been for years. Have a college student in need of bedding? Pick up that phone right now. Call 1-800-MATTRESS, and you can get same-day delivery to all major colleges and universities from Miami to Maine, from Kendall to Stewart, Palm Beach to Fort Myers, from Aliquippa to Alachua. This is the deal. Dial Mattress will deliver right to your door the finest bedding around, set it up for you, take away the smelly old bedding. Anybody with a brain is buying their mattress this way with one easy call to 1-800-MATTRESS or by logging onto their website, mattress.com. 1-800-MATTRESS, that's 1-800-MATTRES.
The Howard Stern Show. Neil Rogers, mornings and middays. Sports around the clock. 560 QAM.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
And furthermore, hold on. Is that Sean Hannity? Hey, moron! Cram it sideways!
I've been a user for a long time.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Did you hear that? That Stern is a panic. What a show.
I know you had fun cutting into the show. I'd say get rid of them in the mornings and go back to a nice, safe tune. Besides, you're going to lose to the Dolphins.
Oh, who needs the Dolphins? Screw them. Why, we're going to do so well now, I might even decide to pay Boca.
Anybody see my pants? Carlos stole my pants.
Well, what did he do that for?
He didn't like what I called him.
And what was that?
Sprinkles.
Oh, I did splatter on your shoe, hon.
Give me back my pants.
I hid them in my weird beard. Look at me.
That's my shoe.
the Stein show is off now.
What do we do?
I don't know. Is George on today?
Think it's a pregnant pause?
It's,
Maybe Robin has something else.
Guys, let's just relax.
Oh, why don't you...
Is there more to that? Or is
No,
that
that's how it's supposed to end, apparently.
Oh, I see. I was pretty sure that was it, but, these CDs. It's 11:03, boys and girls. Let's take a look at that QM schedule today. Pencil this in. I don't have any changes. Of course, we didn't have our usual morning chat with Clarence this morning. Nice job on the paycheck and the talent this time around, Clarence. Good job. Just stay in the closet. We got the Mad Dog at 2 o'clock today.
All right.
Now, was he on yesterday?
Yes.
2 days in a row for the Mad Dog, working some heavy duty. Then we got Mo, 4 to 6:30, filling in for the vacationing and suspended Hank Goldberg, 4 to 6:30. Marlins on deck at 6:30, and then the Giants in town again. The Marlins lost a tough one in extra innings last night, didn't they? 6-5, I believe, in 10 innings?
That's right.
That's what I saw. Giants at the Marlins at PP Park, 7:05, and then Eddie K after the baseball game. That's our schedule as it's penciled in right now, but you never can be too sure. This story is just before we start taking calls for 1,000 ideas for our poll today. And, boy, I got stories up the ass today, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't shake.
Port of Sweetgrass, Montana. Jesse Huffman insists he didn't do it on purpose, but the toilet he left plugged after nature called at this border crossing in north-central Montana has him facing criminal charges. This ain't something we're making up just to be gross or something like that and to discuss excretory activity. This is from the A&P, okay? This isn't some kind of a bull crap story. It's a crap story, but not a bull crap. Toole County authorities charged the 19-year-old college student from Great Falls with criminal mischief after a border agent accused him of intentionally clogging the toilet.
Oh, my gosh.
Huffman said the clogged piping was completely unintentional, the result of an urgent but natural bodily function. Haven't we all had urgent but natural bodily function?
Yes.
You bet. I mean urgent. I've never been arrested before or anything like that. I get arrested for taking a dump, said Huffman, a student at Montana State University in Bozeman. Huffman was returning to Montana from a trip to Lethbridge, Alberta, with 4 friends Saturday. Port authorities stopped their car for what apparently was a random search. The car's 19-year-old driver was cited for illegally possessing booze. Huffman said he asked to use the back room while waiting for the driver. A short time later, a port inspector discovered the toilet was clogged and threatened charges, Huffman said. Corey Grayson, one of Huffman's friends, said he couldn't believe it when border agents first threatened charges. I didn't think they were serious at first. I was laughing so hard, he said. Port Director Larry Overcast said he couldn't comment on the case, but that it's obviously no laughing matter. Huffman said he's hired an attorney and intends to fight the charge. Is this America or what?
Yes.
It's the same America where a decorated war hero is defending himself against all these smear charges, and then come to find out that another one of these evil Jews, this Ben Ginsburg, one of the Bush attorneys, has been behind putting all these people up to it and advising the so-called, what the hell they call themselves, the bullcrap veterans?
The swift vote veterans.
Yeah, the not-so-swift vote bullcrap veterans. And Bush has actually gained 3 points. The same kind of smear thing that worked so well against John McCain, another decorated veteran who was now a POW on top of all of that.
Not really. He stayed at a hotel.
Yeah, that's right. He just made it up. Just like he just decorated the side of his face to get sympathy. Yeah, he didn't have no cancer. He just a decoration to get attention. The same kind of smear thing, because that's all they can do. They sure as hell can't run on their record. The market's in the tank. Oil costs $80 billion a barrel. Kids are dying every day over there in Iraq, which we'll get to that story in Hollywood about their father. That's just... Can you imagine...
No, I can't.
Being the parent of a kid in any kind of a war, and you look out the window and you see that vehicle, that government vehicle pull up in the driveway.
On your birthday.
Boy.
On your birthday.
On your birthday. Here's your birthday gift. Your son's dead. Oh, brother. Anyway, here's the poll. Let's see. Let me take a vote. I'm voting for the Burrito Supreme at Taco Bell. I'm going to go do a little search today. Yeah, I'm going to find me a Taco Bell if it's the last dang thing I do. I mean, it's not good if you're trying to lose weight, although I'm doing very splendidly well, 186, which is the lowest I've been in quite some time. Very proud of that. Even though I had a chocolate banana waffle for a lunch a few days ago.
Oh, my God.
That was one of the best damn things I ever had in my life. My blood sugar was up to like about 30,000. But, boy, was that good. See, once in a while you just have to splurge. You just have to have something really,
I'm going to send you a picture of High Boy, and you can put it on your fridge.
No, I just got you telling you I'm down to 186.
All right. Just
I
worry.
didn't gain weight from eating one thing. One meal, unless it's just a gigantic gorging, isn't going to make you lose weight. Okay? Schmuck. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Man, you are God, buddy.
Yeah, sure.
I miss you, man. Hey, listen, he wasn't his ward.
I beg your pardon? What did he say?
He wasn't his ward.
Yeah, and?
That's it.
Oh. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Great material. What's the best food item sold at fast food joints? WQAM, hello. This is going to be 2 for 2, I'm sure. But hello.
I can hear him.
Hola. Buenos dias. Up your nose with a piece of glass hose. Not there. Okay, that takes care of your calls, which is good because I only got 3 hours anyway. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
Hey, I heard you say the other day that Joe Rose is going to be on another station. Can you tell me what station it's going to be on?
7:90 a.m. starting on September 1st, 9 to 11 in the morning.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
No problem. All right. Hey, we're here to promote everybody, okay? We're not afeard of 790. And Greg Reed says, bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bop. That's after he screwed over Joe Rose about how many times?
About 30, man.
Lied to him, strung him along, and just used him and abused him over and over again. Joe must be a masochist. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how about Checkers fries?
Fries at Checkers, okay? You got it, man.
Thanks.
And have a great day. See, there's a guy actually we spotted to our poll. It takes a little while to get him going because we got these other people that had their own agenda before we start with the poll question. So you may have noticed over the years it takes a few minutes
About 30, man.
to get them on track, so to speak. By the way, speaking of Drek, Todd Drek and Screwan, you can forget about it. I'm not doing, when I told you the answer was no, there is no amount of money, there's no kind of devious game you can cook up. The answer is absolutely, positively no. I'm not endorsing an account where the client I despise and hate like poison, okay? They make me want to gag and puke. They want to make me upchuck burrito supremes that I ate years ago, is how much I dislike those people, okay? So the answer is, no. Just forget about it, okay? Get some other flunky to do your work. Morons. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
You will do a lot of exercise, right?
WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about Howard Stern.
What do you want to say?
Hello?
What do you want to say?
This Neil?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, why are you always bad-mouthing Howard Stern?
About what?
Well, when he goes over your supposed time limit, as soon
what the hell are you talking about? Haven't I said I'm ecstatic? I wish they'd go on to 1:30. Haven't I been saying that?
You're always reading comments from your listeners about, Howard Stern staying too long. I don't think
well, let me ask you something. So you're making comments about you wish he was on till 2 o'clock. Am I hanging up on you?
Yeah, but I'm a Howard Stern fan, and I listen to you, but I don't like it the way you
so in other words, when somebody has a different opinion and somebody sends us a fax, I'm only supposed to read the ones that kiss Howard's ass? You got the wrong show, pal. I don't kiss anybody's ass, including yours, schmuck. How do you like that?
Oh, that's typical. It's a religion,
typical Stern groupie. See, there are Howard Stern fans, which is fine, and we welcome them all to the show if they like what we're doing here. If not, bye-bye. But, if you're a groupie, then there's something obviously wrong with you. I wish they would go on, and this is serious, I wish they'd go on to 155. If I could get paid the same every day for the next 80 million years until I croak for working 5 minutes a day, I'd have no ego, you see, unlike Howard and certain other people. I don't have any ego, so it doesn't bother me in the least bit. I don't have this desperate need to be on the air, to be, do whatever the hell it is. I have no problem with that. So a listener sent in a fax, and I read it. If they would have sent a fax in and said, Howard Stern, congratulations, it's the greatest thing in history, and we're ecstatic, I read those too, schmuck. But you're one of those people with a very fragile ego, just like certain other people, and you can't handle the truth. 12 minutes after 11 at 560 WQAM. Over the years, you've heard me talk to you about Chuck Alfieri and his patented hair systems. Charles Alfieri is the best in the business for over 35 years. He's made guys look great with his fantastic hair systems that are virtually 100% undetectable. Let me say it again. Undetectable. And right now, Charlie's introducing the latest development in hair restoration. It's called the new laser light therapy treatment. Now, this treatment is used for treating fine and thinning hair. The new treatment, fine.
Oh, we're fine.
And thinning hair. This new treatment is FDA certified and restores hair and scalp back to its healthiest state while increasing hair shaft density and volume. The new laser light therapy and its cool light laser device is effective on both men and women and is a painless, non-invasive treatment that's complete in about half an hour. Charlie and his staff have witnessed dramatic results with their new system that impedes hair fallout for those with fine and thinning hair. So stop thinking that by some miracle, some act of God, that your thinning hair is just going to stop falling around into the sink, shower on the float, and give Charlie a call to learn more about this new exciting laser light therapy treatment and how it can solve all your thinning hair problems. It truly can change your life, make you look a hell of a lot better and younger, too. Call Charlie toll-free. There's no obligation. It's 1-800-321-2413. That's 1-800-321-2413, or on that wicked World Wide Web, CharlesAlfieri.com.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Hey, it's Howard. Howard Sperm.
Hot show, Amish in the city. What's this thing called electricity? L.A., where it's hot and muggy, ain't no place for a horse and buggy. They might go on a bender, wearing big hats and funny suspenders. But back home it's a different world. No phone, so you can't call girls. Come on, and raise that barn. They can't swear, they can just say darn. Tune in. If you miss, it's a pity. These kids, they can't stay the same, 'cause they're Amish in the city. 'Cause they're Amish in the city. No more eating only mutton. They can use zippers instead of buttons. First time seeing a computer. Going for lunch at a place called Hooters. Cars honk, never heard street noise, and it's the first time they've ever seen a homeboy. But back home it's a different thing. No tattoos or belly rings. Come on, and feel no guilt. When you get home you can finish that quilt. L.A., the place is so pretty if they stay. How will they survive when they're Amish in the city? When they're Amish in the city.
Oh, here's a spy report the schmuck that just called Mo at about 6:50. Oh, called Howard Stern at 6:15 this morning. I'm thinking Mo. I don't know what Howard we got. I got my Howards mixed up.
Right. Well, I got so many.
Yeah. And probably give him a bunch of crap about how I'm whining that I... See, and that's the irony of the whole part, is that was predicted by certain Howards, not to mention no names.
Absolutely.
But quite the contrary, au contraire. But we got a bunch of Schmidt disturbers out there and have a good time, because basically what you're trying desperately to announce to the world is...
I have no line.
Right. This is the bad news, boys and girls. Bush edges ahead of Kerry for the first time this year. He heads into next week's Republican National Convention with voters moving slightly in his direction amid signs that John Kerry has been nicked. Not by a bullet this time like in Vietnam, but nicked by attacks on his service in Vietnam, a L.A. Times poll has found. For the first time this year in a Times survey, Bush led Kerry 49 to 46% among registered voters. In a Times poll just before the Democratic Convention last month, Kerry held a 2-point lead. And although a solid majority of Americans say they believe Kerry served honorably in Vietnam, the poll showed that the attacks on the senator from a group of Vietnam veterans were a bunch of professional liars, criticizing his performance in combat and his anti-war protest at home, have left some marks. Kerry suffered small but consistent erosion compared with July. I'm telling you, there's so many stupid people out there. It's just, it's scary. And, of course, they get sucked right into it, and then he makes the phone call and try to convince them, why aren't they striking back the way they ought to be, man? There's never been I don't think, other than Herbert Hoover, there hasn't been a more vulnerable president than this one. And these people just continue wimping out, man. It's the Democratic effing way. That's all they know how to do. When in doubt, wimp out. Oh, well, we don't want to be too harsh. We don't want to come off as appearing harsh. No, let them continue doing it just like they did to John McCain in 2000. Who not only was a decorated war hero, but a POW. No, that's okay. And Max Cleveland, too, who's in a wheelchair, and he's trying to make the case out there at Crawford, Texas, and they're giving him a song and a dance. I think they were like, he was doing wheelies out there in front of the ranch. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. What's the best fast food item sold at fast food joints? The best food item. Milkshakes and Steak and Shake, 17. Fries at McDonald. Oh, I got another one. Yeah. That nobody's going to call in, but it's definitely worth some votes. The Jamocha Shake at Arby's.
They have Jamocha Shakes at Arby's.
You never had one?
No.
Somebody was trying to tell me a while back, about a month ago, oh, they don't have those anymore. Well, you're full of crap. Of course they have them. Maybe it was Josh was trying to tell me that.
I was telling you about those Market Fresh sandwiches.
Yeah. I got something fresh for you. I'm going to bring it to you in a bag. Anyway, milkshakes from Steak and Shake, 17. Fries at McDonald's, 12. Chicken sandwich at Wendy's, 9. Burrito Supreme Taco Bell, only 8. See, there we are again. Everybody knows that should be the winner. Cheeseburger at Wendy's, 5. And fries at Checkers, 3. 54 votes. We should have many, many more.
About 30, man.
30,000 more on there by 2 o'clock. WQAM, hello.
Yes, I'd like to speak to Neil.
Speaking.
Neil.
Yes.
I have a question. Being that Bush is such a lame brain,
yes,
how could it be possibly that the Democrats couldn't have come up with somebody else to just easily win this election?
Because that's their expertise, man. Remember Walter Mondale? Remember Michael Dukakis?
Right.
Right.
I mean, he is so vulnerable, Bush, in every aspect of it. I think people
But stop and think of the irony. You've got a decorated war hero who volunteered to serve in Vietnam against an AWOL National Guardsman who didn't show up half of the time and who had the daddy pull strings to keep him from fighting. And for a vice president, you've got Cheney, who was a draft dodger 5 separate times, and they're picking on him and they're making inroads with the public. Does that tell you how stupid the people are and how inept the Kerry people are?
It's unbelievable.
The Democratic Party they're the Antichrist, man. They're pathetic. They have like a death wish.
You know, I saw an ad that he had running for about insurance, and he said that he wants to give tax credits to small business. I think he has to speak more to the people. That's a big issue, health care for the elderly and things like that. I think he has to speak more to the people and tell them that he wants to give health care to the elderly instead of talking about things like tax credits for small businesses. The average older person doesn't understand that.
What he needs to do is rip the crap out of Bush. That's what he needs to do, and they should have been doing that at the convention. They should all taken a page from Ted Kennedy and Howard Dean and rip Bush an ass, and they should put Jew Lieberman in a broom closet somewhere.
Yeah.
Have a great day, Pally. Good luck to us. I'll see you at the border. Now, what is this? You only somebody faxed this, or you sent me obviously the second page of a story.
No. I just omitted all of the Hazrat. Boca Brian sent me a link to this story
about Tom Don't Like Us. The Los Angeles-based Tom Don't Like Us, who was a major fader in the Miami market years ago, by the way, was treated at a hospital for a black eye and a cut above the eye that required 17 stitches following an attack outside a restaurant early Monday, according to a police report. Lycus 48 is known for blunt talk on gender issues, in other words, women bashing, and for naming such individuals as the woman accusing Kobe Bryant of rape, a woman who tried to commit suicide, yada yada. One of his regular trips to broadcast from Seattle, Lycus said he was getting some fresh air about 3:45 in the morning, Monday, outside a cafe, when a man took a picture of him, went back inside the night spot, and returned with 2 other men. I was minding my own business. It was a person who knew who I was from the radio, he said. Oh, yeah, well, I guess you know who he is from the radio, right?
Sure, looks just like him.
Yeah. Look at your speaker there. Oh, there's Tom Lycus. One of the 3 men, said Lycus, had taken a call from him, insulted him on the air, questioning his virility. The man who took the picture, well, I think the guy had a point. The man who took the picture and kicked Lycus in the head, knocking him to the ground, according to the report. The 2 men fled, the report said, while Lycus took a cab to his hotel. Is this a big story or what? Why do we even give a crap about Tom Don't Like Us, huh?
Because he got kicked in the head.
He's small potatoes. Well, that's a good story. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T. Maybe it was a couple of guys who actually like women. WQAM, hello.
How about a Wendy's triple with cheese?
Okay, that's actually what I had in mind. Did I say it wrong? That's good.
You said cheeseburger, so...
Yeah, it's already on.
You know, singles, doubles,
triples, triple, quadruple, sextuplet. That guy's got his thumb on it, though, man. Good choice. A Wendy's triple with cheese with ketchup and onion only. Oh, man. And if you're lucky, you might actually get what you ordered. Especially the Wendy's down there by where we used to work. Oh, boy. Wow. Well, it's kind of a different crowd.
It's like spinning the wheel of food.
The wheel of meat. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Oh, a Quiznos sub.
Sub from Quintos. Okay, I hear they're very good. Quiznos, not Quintos. I say Quintos, Quiznos.
It's all right.
They bring us food one day and it was very great. I already know the answer, yeah. They're all here. We got Quiznos here, all over the place.
We have Quizlings here.
I know that. I was just going to say that. Damn it. 567. Okay, you got that, Josh? Quiznos, sub. How are we putting these on there?
Subs from Quiznos.
There you go.
There you go. So far, milkshake at Steak and Shake. That was I came up with that. I'm proud. 26. Fries at McDonald, 17. That was George, of course. Chicken sandwich at Wendy, 16. Josh and George. Well, because a lot of people were going to say that, and they did. Okay. It's second place already. Don't you know that? Don't you just know it?
And I do like it.
Like Huey, what's his name would say?
Could get McDonald's fries at Wendy's.
Don't you just know it? Huey, what was his name?
Huey Lewis.
Newton. Huey Lewis. Huey, somebody. I don't know. Huey and Dewey.
Huey Long.
Burrito Supreme Taco Bell, 10. Oh, I love them Burrito Supremes. Cheeseburger at Wendy's, 6. Especially them triple cheese. With ketchup and onion only, please. Fries at Checkers, 4. And the Jamocha Shake at Arby's, out of 79 votes, it's got the big so far. It'll have some. We'll have some people with some real taste. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil. Bacon,
Yes,
egg, and
sir.
cheese biscuit from McDonald's.
Bacon and cheese biscuit.
Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit from McDonald's. They are delicious.
Okay, thanks. I would say I would see you there, but I won't. At the Golden Arches, man, the people who are poisoning the world, who are destroying... And I can't imagine why people continue getting fatter, not just in America, but all over the world. They're getting fatter and bigger and sicker, and diabetes, and, of course...
all of these things.
All of these things, man. Can't imagine why, can you?
Evolution.
20... Is that your evaluation?
They're evolving bigger.
26 after 11 at 560. Speaking of that, if you're on... What a segue. If you're on the Atkins, the South Beach, Sugar Busters, or any low-carb, sugar-free diet, then head for Delights of West Boca. For years, Delights has helped thousands of low-carb dieters achieve their weight loss goals, and now Delights of West Boca is celebrating their 14th anniversary with special discounts of up to 50% off on low-carb products like Carbolite, Pure Delight, Carb Sense, and lots more. It is their anniversary super special. You can save half off on all their Atkins brands foods and supplements. Don't forget the great selection of low-carb bakery items like cheesecakes, breads, rolls, brownies for all you brownie hounds, and whatever you find in the store, you can try it before you buy it, too, to make sure you like it. Can you imagine that in the supermarket? You can actually taste it before you buy it?
Yeah.
What a mess that would be, huh? They got an eligible staff at Delights. They're open every day till 10. Don't forget their guaranteed lowest price policy on all Atkins, Carbolite, and Pure Delight products, too. Delights of West Boca will not be undersold. You'll find them on the northeast corner of Glades and 441 right next to Boston Market, or call them toll-free 1-877-LOW-CARB, or on the web it's lowcarb.com. Delights of West Boca is your official Atkins Retail Center.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Yeah, the vault just went out.
All right, I guess we're not going anywhere.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's do this in 4 minutes.
Right around here. We need all the ladies to hit the dance floor. If you got a big old booty, say you like to shake that.
Anyway.
Well, just keep going for a second.
No problem. We got left over where that came from. How about now?
No, I'm picking up all this crap. Okay, so I guess I could play what I was going to play now, right?
Go for it.
Time now for another celebrity presidential endorsement.
This is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm endorsing President George W. Bush. He has the values of those flabby Americans in the red states. And to the Americans in the blue states, allow me to say this: I'll beat you up with my little pinky toe, you curly man.
This is George W. Bush, and I never heard of these people, or Kim Lang.
John Kerry never was in Vietnam. He lied about even being in the service.
Now, this is Bob Dole, and Bob Dole says, I never saw Kerry bleed. So in my view, that makes him a liar.
John Kerry wasn't in Vietnam. I saw him at those parties Paul Lynde used to have. I remember watching Kerry have sex with Nita Talbot on that 5-inch white shag.
John Kerry never went to Vietnam. Neither did John Edwards. Kerry was working as a stunt double for Fred Gwynn.
It's only true if we say so. Listen to the voices in your head, and the ones we hired to lie about John Kerry's service, because we can do anything we like. You are weak-minded and gullible. How's it smell with your head up there?
It's 11:29 at 560.
Rectum.
WQM. Mad Dog is on today at 2, and then we got, unfortunately, the Molmeister, who's so out of touch with reality that it almost pains me. It almost gives me big roids. Cuban ships herself to U.S. in wooden crates. He's probably got some bad roids now, I would think.
Or splinters.
A Cuban woman tucked herself inside a wooden crate the size of a small filing cabinet and had herself shipped from the Bahamas to Miami aboard a cargo plane. Oh, from the Bahamas, Mon, that's bad. The last thing we need is any more people from the Bahamas. Well, she's Cuban, but she's from the Bahamas. She's coming by way of that. We don't need any more people from the Bahamas in the U.S., or from Jamaica, or from St. Kitts, or from St. Thomas.
Jemima.
Or Jemima, right. The woman, whose name was not released, will be allowed to stay in the U.S., of course. A cargo crew found her curled up inside the crate after unloading it late Tuesday at Miami International. Certainly she's lucky to be alive, said Zach Mann, spokesman for Customs and Border Protection. Speaking of Zach, won't see him no more. Under the so-called wet foot, dry foot policy, Cubans who eat U.S. soil are usually allowed to stay, while those who are picked up at sea are sent home. Federal officials released no information on how the woman got from Cuba to the Bahamas. The 180-mile route is flown by a third-party contractor for delivery service DHL, which said it was investigating. The flight lasted only an hour, so the woman described as being in her early 20s would have been exposed to the cold for only a short period, and in other words, no problem. Earlier this year, a homesick man who shipped himself in a wooden cargo crate from New York to Dallas was fined $1,500, sentenced to 4 months of house arrest for being a stowaway, and forced to spend the rest of the year at Crawford, Texas, with a bunch of mouth-breathing idiots. Popeyes biscuits. Okay, you got this? Biscuits at Popeyes from a cracker with soul. All right, biscuits at Popeyes.
Yeah.
I never eaten at Popeyes or Bojangles. I don't think they're for me.
Oh, we'll be able to break in about 10 minutes.
What do you mean by that?
That's what I was told by the engineers.
That's our ETA.
Right,
we'll be able to break in about 10 minutes. Well, the next scheduled break is about 10 minutes, and we're not doing an 8-minute break. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, come on. It's all the rage now.
No freaking chance. See, one thing about our sponsors, they don't want to be like the 10th spot in the middle of a 20-minute break.
Sure they do.
Because they realize that that's like having a quarter of an inch ad in the Sunday Herald. It's just kind of a waste of cash, you know, when you get lost in the middle of a long, ponderous commercial break that goes on and on. Nobody's paying any attention. Anyway, the chili at Wendy's, somebody says, I love chili, but I don't like it with beans.
Right.
And I'm sure you can't get it without the beans, right?
Sure you can. You have to buy it, though, and there are places you can go. Real chili does not have beans.
No, I understand it. I know you can get it, but I'm talking about like at these joints that sell it like Wendy's. They won't do that special for you, right? Because it's all prefab. It's all cooked in a big steaming pot that's sitting there for like hours and hours and hours. Just, oh, man. Just rotting and festering. Kind of like the stuff in the windows there in Amsterdam. And I was very pleased to see in my last trip to Europe that in fact, I waved hi to some of those slices of pizza in the window at that one place called Good Luck, and believe me, you'll need it. I'm serious. I recognize some of the food in the window. How do they do that? And don't think that it's just like a display thing, you know. They actually sell it. Yeah, these unsuspected punks who are stoned out their ass anyway, they come along, I got the munchies, I'll have a big slice of pizza with pineapple, you know. It's been sitting there from October 1893. This is one of my favorite stories of all times. It makes me very proud to be part, at least a little bit of Canadian in me, so to speak. It was Dan Bastards last year. It's idiots this year.
All right.
All right, eh? Canadian Member of Parliament Carolyn Parrish had said she hated damned Americans and called them bastards in the run-up to the Iraq War. She found a new moniker, idiots, yesterday in discussing the planned U.S. missile defense system. We are not joining the coalition of idiots. We're joining the coalition of the wise, the Liberal legislator told a small group of demonstrators. Parrish, who had to apologize for her bastards remarks last year, at first denied using the term idiots, and when reporters pointed out they had her remarks on tape just like last year, she said, I don't mean Americans are idiots. The world respects Canada for to join this, that it'll be giving credibility to what they're doing, she said. Parrish then begged reporters not to use the remarks. Please, guys, don't put on that tape, she said. I've already gotten into trouble once. Really, please, I've had enough trouble. She's just got a big mouth. And most guys like somebody like that who's got a big mouth. But if you saw her, it wouldn't make much difference.
Oh, okay.
The top spokeswoman for former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien, who also had a big mouth, which kind of sloped off to one side, Francois Ducrot, had to resign in 2002 for calling President George Bush a moron. In other words, for telling the truth. Chrétien's successor, Prime Minister Paul Martin, who's about as exciting as tapioca pudding, has pledged to put relations with Canada's largest trading partner on a warmer footing. You go, girl. Nice going, Carolyn. Keep telling it like it is, bitch. Boy. Let's see. Here, grilled sub from Blimpie. Got it? The grilled sub from Blimpie?
We do
and
know.
Also it says here, free Hank Goldberg. Nice going, whoever's from Mike. Nice going. Excellent job. 5670560. Pound 560 on the AT&T. See, this is kind of like, it's like free range, you know how they have the free range chickens? This is free range radio, is what we got. And now it is. Because we just kind of like, there's no format anymore. And why have a format, you know? We got stuff that works once in a while, and then we punch out a whole bunch of spots. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. The best food items sold at fast food joints. What do you got? WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Taco Viva or Taco Bell? What's your preference?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell?
Is Taco Viva still in business?
I don't know, but it used to be my favorite. Now, I'm a 425-pound tractor trailer driver, and I do runs to Tampa. You know what my craving is always? Crystal mini burgers.
Oh, yeah, right. That's good.
Yeah, put that on the list, Neil.
Okay, thanks, Pally. See, in Temple Terrace, not the mini burgers at Crystal. That's with a K, of course, Krystal, not to be confused with George's wife.
Right.
Have you ever eaten at Crystal?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
They have them in Orlando. I still don't understand that. I guess it's because most of the people in South Florida either they eat a lot of beans or they like stuff that you don't have to chew too hard. Because they like to gum their food, all the geriatrics.
As far as what, why they didn't make it down here? Or
I don't like Steak and Shake. Look how many years it took Steak and Shake to make it down there. And then when they got to South Florida, then their burgers started falling apart. They're like, and I do mean literally falling apart. I don't know what happened to them.
I don't know.
Their shakes are still great, which they're leading on the poll. Milkshakes.
And Sonic was here for about 5 minutes, and they were great.
Right. Well, I mean, look, we can't live in the past with all the stuff that was good, but I'm just saying stuff that's all around the rest of the state, just like Hardee's. We even got Hardee's here, eh? How come there's no Hardee's? Is there a Hardee's in Data, Broward, or Palm Beach? Because the one thing they got that's great at Hardee's, man, is that shroom and cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Man, is that good.
There used to be one down on Bird Road, but that was like 100 years ago.
Right.
Down south of there.
That was probably a little bit too good for the folks in South Florida.
Hardee's. Make it a point to go to Hardee's every time we take a trip up north to the south.
There you go. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
How are we doing?
What is
Neil
it?
there?
I'm speaking, yeah.
Hi, Neil.
How are you?
I wanted to put in on my request for, I want a 3-piece chicken from KFC with 2 biscuits and some coleslaw.
I'll bring it right over.
Well, we happen to have one right next door to the station. You're in luck, Pally. Josh will be delivering it right to your door right at 2:15. Just sit tight right now, okay? Oh, God. Now, somebody is probably going to say KFC. After seeing that story about them butchering up them chickens and stomping on them and squeezing them and smashing them using like his baseball bats. Oh, is that what it is?
That's why they're so tender, yeah.
Oh, I thought that the Bushmeister ordered that everybody has to use Adolphs again to tenderize all their stuff. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil, the slaw at KFC is probably the best.
The slaw?
At KFC.
Is the best item, the slaw at KFC. Okay, let's put that on there just for old time's sake. Sure, that's good. The slaw at KFC. Slaw is for Goyim, okay, Pally. Now, what's the story about the brakes here? I mean, I'd like to get a little bit of a update. Up, Chuck.
Well, when the AV returns, it's broken, as I'm told, and we'll go to break.
I see. Well, how about if I do my next live spot right now, and then we'll, free up something?
Fair enough.
Because I think we actually, in the last hour, we had a couple of openings during that last hour, which now that we're only on for 3 hours and a few minutes, is really outrageous, outlandish. I understand we even have some openings on the Stern Show, which shows me that our sales department is too busy trying to force me to do spots that I'm not going to ever do, as opposed to going out there and really selling the 85th and a whole bunch of 95 spots. Right?
Right.
I can't understand these people. 22 till noon at QAM. You've heard me talk about Dry Concepts for many years, and that's because I've used them in my house for over 20 years. They've been around in South Florida for 25 years, cleaning carpeting like nobody ever heard of before, because they have a patented, exclusive method. That's where their name came from, Dry Concepts. They dry clean your carpeting. Same idea as dry cleaning your clothing, and guess what? It works. It sucks out all the dirt, all the germs, all the crap that even the naked eye can't see way down there in the fibers of your carpet. And it leaves your carpet looking just like brand new, no matter how filthy it is right now, and smelling lemony fresh. Your carpets are dry in a couple of hours. You really can clean today and entertain tonight. They give you a written guaranteed price up front before they start the job, and you can save an extra 15% off that already unbeatable price by having you put them on their standby list when you call Dry Concepts. Here's their toll-free number. Whether it's your carpeting, your upholstery, your area rugs, your expensive oriental rugs, all of these things, nobody will do a job for you like these folks. Call 1-800-248-5071. That's 1-800-248-5071, or check them on the web at dryconcepts.com. That's Dry Concepts, making carpets clean since 1979. Let's see, I'm not playing the rejoin, the bumper.
The thingy.
The bumper for the humper.
Yeah.
Because we can't play any spots. Now, are they going to give us like a little heads up on this, or are they just going to we're going to interrupt in mid-sentence? Because I really don't care anymore, to be honest.
And we don't know.
We're going with the flow, and we just have no idea. This is Greg Reed Radio at its finest. Let's see, a cheeseburger from Charslut Cow. Sure, or Charburger. Sure, why not? Joe Rose would be very upset if we didn't put that on there.
Nothing
the Charburger from Char Hut. In fact, I got another one for you. After you put that on there, I got another Char Hut one. Is the Italian sausage at Char Hut.
Don't normally think about that.
Why not?
Well, because it's Char Hut, people think of burgers.
Well, what about their wieners, man? They got some
well,
hot
that's where
wieners
your
in
head is
Charlotte.
at.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's one from WB. It seems as if Bob Dole opened up a real can of worms when he brings up Kerry's war record. According to the Nation magazine article dated August 12, 1996, Bob Dole's war hero record isn't even close to being just that. The article may be found at, a long, ponderous website. Mr. Dole is just as much a fake as George W., not close to being the hero that Kerry is. Just another bitter old Republican who got his ass whooped and chooses to use selective memory. Please read for enlightenment, says WB. Well, there you go. And, of course, not to mention, of course, that he's got a limp noodle, Bob Dole. Mr. Viagra. That's why he's been out of shape and jelly. Well, he didn't, I think that's a good line. He didn't see Kerry bleed.
Worried, wake up in the morning.
Yeah, say bleeding. Because you know what they say, if it bleeds, it leads. Craig in Miami is chronic, man. Oh, Craig, you got to get a life, will you please?
I have no life.
Oh, man. The best item sold at a fast food place is the BK broiler from Burger King. Now we're beginning to understand what Craig's problem is. His taste is in his
rectum.
Tush. Anybody who says the best anything is at Burger King needs serious assistance, okay? Do you believe that?
Well, the best anus burgers.
The BK, those anus, maybe that's what the BK stands for, behind the beaded curtain or something. I don't know. The BK broiler from Burger King. Well, we'll put it on there as kind of a comic relief. You can't complain about the food at Burger King because they don't sell any. I'm trying to think, do they have shakes at Burger King? It gives me the shakes when I think about eating there. Oh, no, I take it back. In fact, I got one to put on there.
Okay.
Although you're not going to be able to spell it, Josh. The croissant-wich.
He'll Google it.
Don't you agree?
Yeah, no doubt.
Although I always used to get it without the egg. They put that little piece of plastic
ham
on there.
Ham and cheese croissant-wich, but we can just put the breakfast croissant-wich however they like it.
Breakfast croissant-wich at Burger King is damn good. So I take back, I apologize. I'm sorry, but not really, because they suck really badly. But I apologize. We've been working together too long, George.
Take another vacation.
That was very, very bad. Holy crap. Man, that was like a nice echo in there, too. It sounded like the old days of WABC, a little reverb.
Okay, go ahead and go to a break.
Oh, let's take a break. It's 18 to noon.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
2001?
Okay, it went out again.
Okay, I thought maybe I missed something there in the...
Want a lollipop, little boy?
Now in concert, it's John Kerry.
John Kerry.
I believe.
John Kerry, coming soon to a town near you.
Help.
I need somebody.
Help.
Just anybody.
Help.
I need someone.
Help. Young Americans.
Right.
Young Americans.
John Kerry sings the classic hits. John Kerry.
Young Americans.
Well, the Ayatollah is going to get everything straightened out, so just relax, okay? Everything is just fine.
Oh, we're fine.
13 till noon. Our equipment ain't too fine. In fact, probably shouldn't mention this story now because people start connecting the dots with our audio vault continuing to crash so we can't play any spots.
Right, it's a conspiracy.
Although my computer seems to be working just fine, and evidently yours both are too, but...
Right.
A coordinated online strike against Internet service by terrorists dubbed Electronic Jihad may or may not strike this week, security experts said. One security researcher in Moscow warned that today could be the day in question.
Oh, my God.
But a recent string of attacks on primary Internet services and the unraveling of major encryption routines are raising concerns in the Internet operator community. Did you know there was an Internet operator community?
No, I did not.
That's kind of like the gay community and the black community and the Cuban community and all the other communities that are such good friends of John Levitt. According to a Tuesday report, Russian security researcher Yevgeny Kaspersky, I thought he used to play for the Panthers. And by the way, no hockey season. I think it's about 99 2/3% sure. Founder of Moscow-based Kaspersky Labs International said a strike against political and financial sites was expected today. Today. The hackers who have proclaimed electronic jihad have enough experience and resources to paralyze the Internet for several hours at least, Kaspersky said in the report. The e-jihad has been discussed for years, but an undisputed attack has yet to surface, said Ken Durham, director of malicious code at iDefense Inc. of Reston, Virginia. He's director of malicious code. For the most part, coordinated hacktivist attacks have been more talk than walk, he added. Durham said security pros are increasingly worried about when political activists might join with like-minded security and Internet programmers. This will be a dangerous situation, he said. While Kaspersky's warning appears to suggest wide-scale DDoS attacks, distributed denial of service, experts suggest that important Internet services as well as root servers are also at risk.
Oh, my God.
For example, a DDoS attack in June against Akamai Technologies Inc. slowed traffic across the Internet for several hours, and in July, DoubleClick Inc.'s DNS domain name system was attacked and unable to serve ads for a similar time frame. There is significant worry in the Internet community that these attacks have a greater meaning, said one Internet operator who declined attribution. They could be related to an electronic jihad or not. Nobody knows. In other words, nobody knows the trouble we're going to be seeing, is what he's saying. See? That's what I'm saying. So I just mentioned that in passing. I had that in my pile. I figured now would be a good time to pass that along because get everybody all whipped up into a frenzy. All really nervous. Because why else would the audio vault keep crapping out? Was that happening earlier this morning, do we know, or is that just something that started on the world-famous Neil Rogers show?
Yeah, just now.
Just started with us now, huh? It's probably a communist plot is what it is. It's probably a bunch of Castro-supporting bearded commie pinko fags is what it is. Who are hiding out in the tea room with the freaky Carlos.
And the weird beard.
Right. And the Dove Fairy. Well, we can only imagine what's going on in there. If you hear the sounds of a pneumatic drill, somebody's getting drilled in there, I'll guarantee you. What's the best food item sold at fast food joints? That's our poll question. What do we got here? We got 197 votes, starting to pick up a little steam. Milkshake at Steak and Shake is holding on to a tenuous lead, 45. The chocolate shake at Steak and Shake is worth going. Don't bother with the burgers, man. They fall apart and they suck.
Yeah, they do.
Well, what's wrong with that? What happened? First came, that one right by my house on the sawgrass there?
Never had the pleasure.
Huh?
Never had the pleasure of that one.
I don't know what the hell happened to them. Well, they started hiring some different folks, too, which bothers me. Yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Bringing in some people who don't live in the hood. And those folks just can't make no boogers. Anyway, fries at McDonald's is a close second. The Shakes has got 47. McDonald's 41. I get the Shakes when I see the Golden Arch. Chicken sandwich at Wendy's 25. Cheeseburger at Wendy's 18. And especially the triple cheese with whatever. Subs from Quiznos 15. Boy, I sure wish I could eat that bread, you know what?
Yeah, well.
I never ate one of those with the bread. They brought in a whole spread with no bread for me that one day. But boy, those the grilled subs, man, they look so fantastic, so inviting. Although if I'm going to cheat, I'd rather have that chocolate banana waffle with syrup, with maple syrup. Man, it was good. With Canadian maple syrup, eh? I might just have one today, but I
do love their maple, don't they?
They're very big on maple leaves, maple this, maple trees, maple syrup, maple. They even slather maple syrup on their.
Rectum.
How do you like that?
They even
run
around the maple.
We can't mention on the air anymore, huh? Burrito Supreme at Taco Bell, 15, tied with Quiznos. That is so good. Now, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go have no chocolate waffle again. I'm going to go to Taco Bell. And the guy that asked before about Taco Viva, they've been gone for many, many years.
About 30, man.
But the real good one that's no longer around was in Kendall on Sunset Drive. Tacos Olé. We've talked about this many times, where they used to have the melted cheese. Oh, man. They would put it everywhere. They'd even stuff a little in your rectum if you ask nicely. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That soft orange melted cheese.
Sure.
Oh, man.
Makes everything good.
And no matter what they had, whether it was the tacos or burritos, in fact, their great thing was the burrito with no beans, with onions and cheese. Oh, man. Tacos Olé. Why can't we eat? Why doesn't some bastard out there invent a pill? All this bullcrap about, well, if we just exercise a little bit. We don't want to exercise discipline.
Right.
We want to eat. There's just too much good crap out there, man. Somebody give us that freaking pill before it's too late so we can just eat manja. Anyway,
you can go to break. We can play it out of the other studio.
Oh, let's go to a break.
You're listening to Neil Rogers on 560 QAM.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
This is Dick Cheney. I like to relax by having Larry Magdalene massage my balls while listening to the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
Rectum.
It's 11:58. It's almost noon now. What do we do now here on Make It Up as we go along radio?
Yeah, we'll play it by ear.
Well, what do you mean by that?
We'll just have to space them out, appropriately.
Jamocha Shake from Arby's has got a few votes on there. What did I tell you? It's got...
None.
Huh? You have little faith?
Oh, I just never heard of it.
What?
Jamocha? We got an Arby's right by the house.
Jamocha is like a coffee shake. You never had Jamocha ice cream?
No, I've had coffee, just not
Get
Jamocha.
out of here. You must be. I thought you were a man of the, at least, not the world so much, but the hood. You must be sleeping in a car, sleeping under the hood. What is that all about? You never, like even Starbucks, which I don't go into those places because I don't drink coffee because it makes me crap my brains out, but, I'm sure that Starbucks, which they now have their own ice creams, they're all coffee flavored. I'll bet you Greg Reed's life on it. I'll even throw in the dump fairy.
They have a chocolate frappe latte thingy that's really good.
No, I'm talking about these Starbucks ice creams. They have, I'm sure they got a Jamocha.
Well, it's kind of like a shake. It comes out like a shake.
But you never had Jamocha ice cream?
Not that I recall.
Oh, my God. Between not having Nestle's turtle ice cream and Jamocha, you just imagine all the avenues you got to look forward to.
We go to Arby's like once a month, so next time.
You go to Arby's once a month?
For
what?
The drive-thru. I know,
for those, what are they, Market Fresh sandwiches?
Yeah, that's it.
Isn't that what it is?
Right. No, they have decent chicken sandwiches there, and they have a variety of fries, whatever your style is, even potato cakes.
No. Even potato cakes. Don't you remember I was the one talking about that?
Right.
No, wait a minute. Who was it that was telling me that they didn't have potato cakes? It wasn't the Jamocha Shake. They said they didn't have potato cakes. I think that was Josh. No, I think that was Josh.
Well, he's out of the room, so let's talk about it.
I see. Well, with good reason, okay? You probably knew we were going to talk about that. He was trying to tell me they did not have potato cakes at Arby's.
Yes, they do.
They certainly do, and they're great. I love those. They're like
the regular home style.
They're kind of like almost like little potato pancakes, almost.
Right. They're good.
In fact, they're kind of like potato pancakes for Goyim.
See.
The Statue of Liberty, Bloomingdale's, the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens, a stage full of naked guys singing. Oops. The city's tourist bureau has pulled an off-Broadway show called Naked Boys Singing from a list of discounted offerings to visiting Republican delegates after the Republican National Right-Wing Committee complained it wasn't suitable for their blue-nosed, right-wing, Bible-thumping, hypocritical, phony fags. The gay-themed show, billed as a musical revue that celebrates the splendors of male nudity in comedy, song, and dance, has received generally good reviews. Hasn't created much of a stir since it began its run 6 years ago. Its 2,127 performances make it the 10th longest-running off-Broadway show ever. So when New York City & Company placed the production among the theater offerings for its Come Early, Stay Late program, designed to get delegates to spend an extra couple of days in the city, nobody thought much about it. But this month, when members of the Republican National Committee on Arrangements began to review the list of offerings, the show's title caught their eye, and they asked that it be removed from the Tourist Bureau's website. The Republican Party selected what we felt were offers that best would suit our blue-nosed right-wing audience, RNC spokesman Leonard Alcivar said Wednesday. We thank the producers for offering their generous discount and wish them continued success with the show. It's interesting the way he spelled success, by the way. Oh, and speaking of spelling, I hate to break the news to you. Is Josh back in there?
Yeah, I'm in here.
I hate to break the news to you. Two things. Number one, they do still have potato cakes at Arby's. That's number one. And because I emphatically insist that it was you that denied that they exist. And number two, you left the off-course sandwich. You've got like cross and which.
Cross
which is, I guess where they used to burn them, wasn't it? On the cross?
Which one?
The which. But, see, the idea is it's a croissant and a sandwich. See, I don't want to get, like, too technical here.
Okay,
yeah, you're losing
don't get too technical.
Yeah, but that's what that's all about. Is a croissant is a croissant with in sandwich form with something inside of it.
Stuff
as opposed to just a plain ordinary pedestrian French croissant. So that's you left off the I. And, of course, I'm sure that Eric will patch it up in no time at all. This story is very disturbing and very distressing, and one more reason why nobody ought to vote for George Bush to be in there again with his merry bunch of Nazi killers, with these lunatics with all that blood on their hands. By the way, you'll love the new billboard picture of Bush that we have on there, on our website, neilrogers.com. I mean, he's so dumb that it's scary, and the fact that more than maybe half of the electorate or a little bit more of those who've decided are going to vote for him again, it's scandalous. Unbelievable. So when some Canadian bitch says that we got a bunch of idiots running America, how about the ones who are voting for these idiots and putting them back in there again, or coming close enough for them to steal it again? Lies and smear and the dirtiest. And these were the people that were going to bring back decency and civility and all these other things. The good religious, holy Bible thumpers, all of this crap. The fetus huggers, the stem cell lickers. But boy, just smear, and when they get cornered like a cornered rat, just lash out and smear and tear down. And that's because they don't have a record they can run on. You could list their accomplishments on your fingers and have at least 4.5 left over. So what are we talking about?
He didn't really deserve those medals.
Oh, that's right. He only had a little flesh wound, is what I'm hearing.
Hangnail.
Yeah, and they probably dragged his ass over there. Anyway, speaking of people dying for no reason at all, a man was severely burned yesterday when he set fire to a Marine Corps van after being told that his Marine son had been killed in Iraq, police said. Another senseless killing, another senseless tragedy, not to mention what's going on in the Jaf over there now. They got the old Ayatollah, Sistani, they brought back. They got al-Sadr and Ayatollah and this one and that one, and they're all rioting in the streets, and a whole bunch of people are dead, and una bomba grande over here, and a little one over there, Pequeña, Mayor Pequeña. And all this stuff is going on because of this this illegal invasion based on a pack of lies. And nobody's talking about that because your media are just a bunch of shills. You're a bunch of suckholes is what you are. All of you people. NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, which nobody watches, and of course Fox, that goes without saying. I thought they finally must have come to their senses when they finally admitted a little bit of honesty on Fox when they replaced the old logo on Fox News with a swastika. I thought at least they're starting to show a little honesty anyway. And you notice that all the reporters now on Fox News, it's obligatory they have the little paste-on mustache? Yeah.
I'm not sure it's paste-on.
3 U.S. Marines went to the house in Hollywood yesterday afternoon, told the parents of a 20-year-old Marine that their son died Tuesday in combat in Najaf. The father, Carlos Arredondo, 44, then walked into the open garage, picked up a can of gasoline, a propane tank, and a lighting device, Hollywood Police Captain Tony Rhodey said. He smashed the van's window and with a propane tank and doused the van with gasoline before setting it on fire. The father was in disbelief, same as any of us would be after hearing this kind of horrible news, Rhodey said. But then the father basically loses it. You can only imagine what this father was going through. He snapped, to say the least. Local TV news stations identified the son as PFC Alexander Arredondo. Rhodey did not confirm that. Calls to the Marine Corps were not immediately returned. The Marines unsuccessfully tried to stop Arredondo from starting the fire, but he set himself on fire and the process was inside the burning van when Marines pulled him out and put out the flames. He was taken initially to Memorial Regional Hospital in Hollywood, moved to Miami's Jackson Memorial. He was listed in serious condition with second-degree severe burns to his arms and legs. All of these tragedies, all of these dead people.
All of these things.
Thanks to the butcher of Washington, okay? And the public says, oh, yeah, well, he's got a good point about that. Just because he was AWOL and he can't tell anybody where he was or what that was all about, and they keep hiding that part of his military records, and I use that term military records loosely. Man, you don't ever overestimate the intelligence of the American public. In fact, I think that's an oxymoron, American intelligence, because there's so little. You got to have a search party. You got to have Sherlock Holmes and Miss Hercule Poirot, whatever the hell it is, him, and Miss Maple, whatever her name was. What was her name? Agatha Christie.
Nancy Drew.
There you go. It is just amazing how many idiots there are out there. But thanks for those low gas prices, Mr. President. Yeah, thanks for giving us tremendous respect around the world and international cooperation. Milt, let me get back to this poll because I'm getting all whipped up into a frenzy, and you should not be allowing me to do this because it's the last day of this summer schedule. That's what I ought to be pissed off about. And then to find out that Stern's going on vacation again tomorrow, and it's going to be only until 10 o'clock or earlier all next week because they're playing a bunch of stale old tapes. Oh, my goodness. What kind of punishment is that? It's not bad enough that I'm not in training. I'm not in shape to be doing 5 shows in 1 week. But then like 5 full 4-hour shows and maybe a couple extra minutes before 10 o'clock, which I'm not. We'll see what happens there. I kind of like that music you were playing. Yeah. Well, somebody's got to play that now that KAT, or wherever that classical station is going all Haitian melodies. Isn't that something? Andy Corge, that thing I read on Tuesday, that was really something about WKAT. They got how many listeners to that classical scratchy music on their scratchy AM signal?
About 30, man.
And it's like a big song to dance. All he's doing is giving you a little warning. They're going to dump it. They're going to Schmidt can it. Milkshake at Steak and Shake is the best fast food I'm sold at fast food joints. That's what's so far in our poll, 53. How many votes we got? Enough to talk about? 262. Not overwhelming. Pretty weak. The fries at McDonald's, 47. Wendy's cheeseburgers, 27. The chicken sandwich at Wendy's, 26. Chicken sandwich to me is like, I don't know, doesn't have a lot of taste.
Spicy chicken. It does there, see. That's
the spicy chicken?
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Surprisingly. They're both good, but we like spicy. They're very tender there. They're very flavorful. They even eat the kernel. Yeah.
Burrito Supreme, Subs from Quiznos has got 22. Good stuff, even though I can't eat it. I can't eat all that bread. Burrito Supreme at Taco Bell, 19. Man, that is the cat's meow. Charburger at Char Hut, 14. The Jamocha Shake at Arby's has got 10, George. You'll love it.
Be right back.
This weekend, you better go try one.
I will. Make it a print.
Or else. Fries at Checkers, 10. Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit at McDonald's, 9. Ooh, that sounds so much. You know what they also have at Hardee's? They have those nasty biscuits with gravy.
I don't like any of those biscuits.
Oh,
the kernel,
man.
they're all
Did
dry.
you ever have them biscuits? They're like they've been sitting on a street corner in Hollywood, California for about 15 years.
They taste like baking soda.
Oh, man, they are nasty. Which goes to show you, they sell like crazy. Big seller. Anyway, bacon, cheese, and egg biscuit, McDonald's, 9. Mini burgers at Crystal have got 8. Chili at Wendy's has got 5, although I'm sure they got them beans, those nasty kidney beans.
Yeah, they do.
Ooh. Biscuits at Popeyes, 3. The BK Broiler at Burger King's got 2, people with absolutely no taste. The croissant sandwich, which I still don't think that's right, but it's close enough. Burger King has got a pair. The Italian sausage at Char Hut, only 2. The slaw KFC's got 2. It must be really, really fantastic, you know what?
Oh, no.
For the coleslaw to get voted, that tells you a lot. And the grilled sub at Blimpie's only got 1. Blimpie's sucks, by the way. Didn't they once bring us food?
I don't recall.
I think they did. And I don't really care whether they brought us food or not, because I just didn't like it. Maybe they improved. Maybe they got better. Huh?
I don't even remember. I know I've eaten there once.
I think it sucks. See, having a good sub and stuff, that's why it's a good thing that Quiznos came along, and then, of course, our good friends at Atlantic
City.
Atlantic City. Oh, boy, that was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? Atlantic City subs?
Yes,
Ira, who isn't there anymore. At any rate, they got good subs, but finding good subs is like finding good pizza in South Florida. Very little. We got how's our friend Jeff Cohen doing? Don't hear from him anymore.
He's fine.
Pizza law.
He's doing good, man. He's regrouping. He's doing just fine.
He's regroping? I'm sure of that.
Everybody.
It's 11 past noon at 560. Well, he must be making a few bucks now that the Rimmer has moved to Columbus anyway. Right now, for a limited time only, you can save lots more, speaking of money, than before on top-selling mattresses from Dial Mattress. All you do is sit on your fat, lazy ass and make one easy call. It's the kind of shopping all of us love. Just call 1-800-MATTRESS today for extra discounts above and beyond their already every day unbeatable low factory direct prices. Plus, now you can get an extra 10% off Service Perfect Sleeper Magnolia. I think even comes with the frogs. Combine these savings and other savings with the Dial Mattress award-winning service. They're ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction. They were winners of the 2004 Better Business Bureau Local Torch of Excellence Award. And, of course, their on-time delivery policy that lets you pick the 2-hour window you want your mattress shoved through. And you'll be a satisfied customer like I've been for years. If you have a college student in need of bedding, pick up the phone right now, call 1-800-MATTRESS, and get same-day delivery to all major colleges and universities from Miami to Maine. Or just send me his picture, and maybe you can sleep on my mattress. From Kendall to Stewart, Palm Beach to Fort Myers, Dial Mattress will deliver the finest bedding around. Everybody at QAM, all the smart people all over town, are calling 1-800-MATTRESS because it's the easiest and smartest piece of shopping you can ever do. Just that one easy call will have you sleeping fine for years to come. 1-800-MATTRESS or on their website, it's mattress.com, 1-800-MATTRES.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560.
Juan Miguel Gonzalez, father of Ilian, meets with his attorney in preparation to take his son back to Cuba.
Well, Mr. Gonzalez, how was your trip?
Very good, gracias.
Do you have any questions before we go any further?
See. This box with the pictures. It's incredible. What is this?
Oh, that's a television.
Oh, television. Mr. Lawyer, what does "What's mean?
Pardon me?
What's
well, it means what's up, like what's going on.
What's
Right, it's a greeting.
What's
now, I know that you're uncomfortable being here. This is a very difficult time for you, sir. What is it, sir?
Oh, this Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza is incredible. How do they get the mozzarella cheese into the crust?
I'm not sure. So, as I was saying... as I was saying, we will try to make your stay here as comfortable as possible and get you home as quickly as possible.
Bye.
Are you going somewhere, sir?
No, I'm listening to the new CD by the boy band In Sync with my new Sony Discman. It's incredible.
Yes, Mr. Gonzalez, they are quite incredible, but we'll be meeting with the...
Just another play in your game for two. You must hate me, but it ain't no lie. Bye, bye, bye.
Oh, God, sir, don't you want to get this over and get back to Cuba?
What are you, loco? I love it here. There's like 300 channels on cable, and I can watch all the Yankee games.
But, sir...
Mr. Lawyer?
What is it, Mr. Gonzalez?
What's that?
12:18 at 560 WQM. We got the Mad Dog Jim Mandich at 2. We got Howard David at 4 for Hank Goldberg, was suspended and on vacation. Not necessarily in that order. Marlins on deck 6:30. Giants at the Marlins 7:05. And Eddie K, good old guy who's just there day after day. It's Eddie K. He'll give you the odds on everything that things have been invented and things we haven't even thought of yet after the ball game tonight. Speaking of Elianito. By the way, the Abuela's report says that they're still...
Checking for it?
They're still looking at it. They're still fumbling with it. A federal judge has thrown out a lawsuit claiming 6 federal agents used excessive force in that armed raid to seize little Elianito Gonzalez at the home of his Miami slimeball relatives 4 years ago. The 14-page order issued this week by U.S. District Judge Marcia Cook concluded that the agents who conducted the raid were legally immune to the lawsuit, and she found no constitutional violations. We were pleased with the judge's decision, said Charles Miller, Washington spokesman with the Department of Justice. That wasn't the reaction in Miami, of course. We are shocked and disappointed by the court's decision, Tom Fitton, president of the right-wing Judicial Watch, said in a statement yesterday. The legal watchdog group sued on behalf of Elian's cousin, great-uncle, and his wife. It's a shame the Bush administration defends these unlawful acts by the Clinton administration, he said. The Gonzalez family is considering an appeal. The lawsuit noted that the raid team broke down the front door unannounced, sprayed irritating gas. Oh, too bad. Back in the day, we'd have a lot of good sound effects for that.
Pretend.
Irritating gas. There's nothing worse than irritating gas. Held people at gunpoint and shouted obscenities at sleepy, unarmed relatives, supporters, and news media in the pre-dawn raid of April 2000. Of course, the fact that if those people would have obeyed the law and they would have turned him over and handed him over without all that song and dance, we wouldn't have had to go through all of that song and dance. A famous Associated Press photograph showed a frightened Elian in a closet shrinking away from an armed marshal dressed in SWAT clothing during the raid. The boy, now 10, was returned home to Cuba after with his father after the raid. And, of course, we all know that it was the fisherman that was holding him in the closet. Why was the fisherman in the closet? I think that story needs to be examined a little bit more. The suit was the 6th filed over the raid, including 3 by people at the house and 3 by a whistleblowing immigration agent who claimed an anti-Cuban bias at the Miami office of the former INS service. The agent reached a settlement. None of the cases have gone to trial. All a bunch of cockerai, as they say in Czechoslovakia, or what used to be with the Czech Republic. Or is it the other way around? 5670560, pound 560. Are you following this on the AT&T and Verizon Wireless line? Let's get a lot more names on this poll. I'm sure we'd have a lot more votes if we had a lot more items, wouldn't you think?
Well, it'll take a lot more calls.
Well, if I did. But, we've got a lot of fish to fry, see?
Fish.
Now, nobody's saying no fish sandwiches, and you want to know why? Does anybody, not that I don't eat that anyway, but does anybody make a good fish sandwich?
Nobody is famous for it.
Because the only stories that I'm always hearing about people who feed fish sandwiches, especially at that Mickey D's, is people getting really sick, Right?
I hadn't heard those stories.
Oh, yeah, all the time, hearing people getting sick on bad fish. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. Now, how are we fixed for break? We're just doing the normal routine rest of the thing now?
Yeah, we're back to normal.
Assuming that everything continues working. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good.
You're no longer able to use those sound effects that you used to use years ago.
That is correct.
But a couple mornings ago, I did hear these sounds on the Gentleman from 6 to 10.
On the Howard Sperm Show, yes.
Yes, sir. So, are you under different laws than he is?
I don't really care. No, we're following the corporate. The corporate has handed down their edict, and I just want the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be like a child and sit here banging the spoon on the table. I want my cigarettes, Nurse Ratched. I'll do whatever the hell they tell me. As long as they keep paying me that kind of money, I'm more than delighted. In addition to which, guess what? Somehow we're continuing to do just fine without the sounds.
Yeah, this is true, too.
Yeah.
But overall, though, you are a more enjoyable show to listen to than that.
Absolutely. Okay, and have a great day. Thank you. I don't want to get that guy all his feathers ruffled or call up Howard again tomorrow morning on tape. See, it's interesting because if he called him at 6:15 this morning, that professional agent provocateur spick that called us before, if he did that, then how come that was before we even got that fax that I read?
Yeah,
right?
well, how come you do that?
So far, have we had any faxes that said, boy, it sure is great having Howard Stern and you make a great back-to-back cover, or whatever, huh? Or we wish Stern was on till midnight,
no,
or anything
I'm sure
like
we
that?
must have.
Because if we had those, I'd sure read them. Or maybe just George is sabotaging it and intercepting those faxes and not passing them along to me because he's got that personal bug up his ass.
You know how jealous I am.
That's right. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You're still the best, Neil. Who cares about Howard, man?
Yep.
Can I call somebody a douchebag?
No. How do you like that?
Yeah, well.
Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, a lot of dumping going on there. I thought I smelled something. 567-0560. Is this a difficult question, or have we got all of them on there? Because if that's the case, I'll just proceed with my agenda here. I got a whole pile of very important stuff. Huh?
I don't know. I think
WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm great.
Good. I'm glad to hear. I can't get through, but this is the first time. Just want to let you know, big fan. My brother and I love listening to you. And also George, wanted to mention, I don't know if anybody said anything. I've only been able to hear you for the last 20 minutes. This morning, somebody called up the Howard Show, and I don't know why I was listening, but I put it on for about 5 minutes, and then I usually turn it off. Somebody made a comment. A couple people were complaining. They called up and said, "Oh man, those guys in Miami are dissing you when you get off the air," and they were he's complaining about how they didn't like Howard, and they were crying. It was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and what did he say?
He says, let me tell you. He started talking about the Beasley, and he says, well, I like those Beasley guys are pretty nice people over there that run that, and he kind of was buttering up to them and smoozing around it, and then this guy was complaining, oh yeah, they're saying that they're not getting a lot of it blocked out, a lot of your show, and he says, oh yeah, we've had problems, and then he says, oh well, a little bit of Howard is better than.
There you go. That's right. A little bit of ego is better than a big fat one, right? Okay, listen, Pally, have a great day.
Thanks a lot, Neil.
Thanks for the spy report. 567-0560, pound 560. Boy, he's sucking up to the Beasleys. I work for him, and even I don't do that. Man, that would be, how could I have any self-respect sucking up to a bunch of banjo-picking yahoos?
Well, maybe they're paying him more.
That could be. WQAM, hello, line 9.
Hello, Neil.
Yes?
You need to put from, I think it's called Checkers or Rallies. I think they're the same company, but their banana shake is incredible.
Ooh, that sounds good. Now, have you ever had a Jamocha shake at Arby's?
Oh, that's the only reason I would go to Arby's.
That is absolutely correct. Here is a man with excellent taste. Now, is it Rallies or is it Checkers? Because I don't participate.
They're the same company. It's Checkers down in Florida and it's Rallies up north.
Well, let's stick with Checkers. Okay?
It's like Hardee's and Carl's Jr. are the same. But
I never knew that.
Yeah, Rallies and Hardee's.
Hardee's and Carl's Jr. are the same?
Yeah, it's Carl's Jr. in the west and it's Hardee's in the east. I'm absolutely positive. But Neil.
Yes, sir.
What did I ever
do to you? So banana shake at Checkers.
Okay.
Wow. I better stop. This is not a good show for me to be doing. Maybe I was inspired by that chocolate banana waffle that I had with pure Canadian maple syrup just slathered all over it. Man, it was so good. I'd say like maybe once every 6 weeks I can tweak myself to something like that if I continue on the not so straight and very narrow path. Yeah. 1226 at 560 WQM. If you have a business, if you're in charge of ordering inkjets, thermocarbon papers, supplies, and, of course,
all of these things,
pick up that phone right now and call toll-free 1-800-287-9212. That's the number for A-Laser Recharge, the toner recharge cartridge specialist. They provide service, support, and maintenance for most makes and models of machines to make them run just like brand new again. When you call 800-287-9212, you'll save money on all your printing and office equipment supplies. For those of you who haven't called yet, what are you waiting for? When you call 1-800-287-9212, you'll be dealing with Just Bob, who's been supplying businesses in South Florida with what they need. In most cases, you got it within 24 hours. A-Laser Recharge can save you up to 50% on new cartridges as compared to depot pricing. And keep in mind, All the cartridges sold by A-Laser Recharge are remanufactured, not refilled. Any schmuck, any schlepper on the street corner can sell you a cheap refilled cartridge, but you only get what you pay for. Don't forget, remanufactured cartridges are the only smart way to go. Write down this number on your sleeve, on your wrist, on your unit, and call them as soon as you can. Save a lot of money. 1-800-287-9212. A-Laser Recharge is part of the individualized service. Offer you a no-questions-asked satisfaction guarantee. Whether it's toner, cartridges, all of these things, pick up that phone and call Just Bob at A-Laser Recharge. Toll free, 1-800-287-9212, or the website is alaserrecharge.com. Call them right now, 1-800-287-9212.
You're listening to Neil Rogers, exclusively QAM.
Except you, over there behind the Fox News camera. Screw you!
She's oily, and old. Looks like the Quaker Oats guy. Smells from the body roll mold. Barbara Bush has 40,000 eyes full of her eyes popped out. It happened when she realized she raised more criminal clout. Barbara Bush has 40,000 eyes. And she's nasty, old and crafty, and she raised more place exactly. She's atrocious and takes umbrage to anyone who says they want no bush. Walks like she's carrying a bowling ball between her thighs and has 40,000 eyes. She doesn't need to talk as if she's always surprised. She's wiggle when she talks. Barbara Bush has 40,000 eyes. She gave us George Bush and Jeb Bush, not to mention Bill and Robin Bush. He'll be rich and fat and smell just like the maggot sauce on a Big Mac. Barbara Bush resembles Ernest Borgnine on a bad day with 40,000 eyes.
You notice nobody has said Big Mac or the Whopper or any of those very famous signature burgers that made those joints the crap that they are today. Isn't that amazing?
Not really.
Speaking of that special sauce, 345 votes. What's the best food item sold at fast food joints? The milkshake at Steak and Shake, 62. I prefer the chocolate myself, nice and thick and creamy and rich and just, oh man. Fries at McDonald's, 60, right on the ass of the shake. Chicken sandwich at Wendy's, it's quite a drop down there to 35. The extra spicy, I guess, is the good one, huh?
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it. I'm just not a chicken sandwich.
You're not a chicken kind of guy.
It's very boring. It's just...
Well, not there. Not those.
No?
No, it's great. Savory.
Probably not good for your roids either if it's really extra spicy. They probably got paprika on it, I would imagine. Has it got paprika?
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
I'll bet you it does. And if it's got paprika, just remember, pepper and paprika are the only two things that go into your body and come out exactly the same way. They don't dissolve. They don't change. They come out the same way. And, of course, there's only one place they can come out.
Rectum. I swallowed a penny once.
Cheeseburger at Wendy's. Did it taste like a penny?
On the way down.
Cheeseburger at Wendy's, 32. Look at this. The Burrito Supreme at Taco Bell has got...
About 30, man.
All right. A lot of people with excellent taste out there. Subs from Quiznos, 27. Charburger at Char Hut, 19. The mini burgers at Crystal, 13. Give me a sack to go, baby. Just load it up. The Jamocha Shake at Arby's, 13. The Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit at McDonald's, 11. The Fries at Checkers, 11. Chili at Wendy's, 8. Well, it's right in the middle of lunch hour. I don't want to say what that chili looks like.
It looks like chili.
Yeah. Popeyes Biscuit, 7. The Crow Sandwich at Burger King. Now I notice we got an apostrophe now. We keep changing the way we're spelling it.
Apparently, Eric looked it up and got the right, proper spelling right off.
Nice
the
going, Eric. Eric's on top of it. In fact, he's probably eating a few right now. He's probably got a whole sack full. Of course, sandwiches from Burger King 4. Those are good, I must confess. In fact, if they would just serve those all day long instead of those crappy rubberized burgers they got, it'd be and those nasty, nasty substitute make-believe onion rings, those crisps of deep-fried crap with no onion in them. 4 for the, of course, sandwich. The slaw at KFC has got 4. You ought to go run next door.
No,
go ahead, Gary Sarner, go next door and get you some. Of course, he'd probably have to check and see if it was kosher first.
It's not.
The grilled sub at Blimpie, 4. The Italian sausage at Charles only got 3. You folks, I always hear Joe Rose, who used to be on our station, and we love Joe. He's starting on 7:90 a.m. on September 1, 9 to 11 a.m. But as much as he loves those, didn't they ever bring those when they used to bring the Char Hut food? Didn't they ever bring in them Italian sausages?
No, just the burgers.
Well, see, that's because you got too many goyim working there when he was on. Man, get that Italian sausage with cheese on it. Oh, man, that's by far their best good stuff. The BK broiler at Burger King has got a pair, and the banana shake at Checkers don't have any yet, but I'm sure it will. Although, well, we'll see. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is this Neil Rogers Show?
Yes, it is. Speaking.
Is it Neil?
Yes, it is.
Really?
No, I'm just making it up. I'm just funny.
It doesn't sound like you.
No, okay. What can I do for you, sir?
I'm just, in regards to this election, there was an article in today's paper about a father in Fort Lauderdale whose son got killed in Iraq.
I just got through reading that story a half an hour ago. Get with it, pal, okay? Get with it. 5670560, and it was in Hollywood, by the way, too. But, people get things a little bit confused. And this ain't Neil anyway.
Right.
Just an imposter.
WQAM,
hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I know the BK is bowel killer. That's what it is.
Is that what it is?
Bowel killer.
Okay, thanks. All the food at Burger King is a bowel killer. It's a kishki killer. It's in fact, it's not the BK, it's the KK. It's the old kishki killer. If you like twisted kishkis, man, you head for Burger King immediately. It'll tear your guts out. How can they still be in business? That's what I'd like to know. I told you that thing about the Cologne, Germany, the train station where they have so many great, really good restaurants. I don't want to say great, not gourmet, but, a lot of good stuff. All that great bratwurst and German sausages and stuff. And there used to be one of the places, it was a market where they had the counter where they would have their own bratwurst and stuff. It was the best. And the last time in Cologne, I'm looking for it. I'm thinking, where the hell is this? And guess what they replaced? Didn't I tell you this story already?
I don't remember.
They replaced this fine, wonderful, authentic German market with a Burger King.
Oh, my God.
As America continues exporting poison to the world, killing between McDeath and Burger King and, of course, the unctuous Pizza Hut. What's that, Pizza Hut Express?
Yeah, is that the one
my
that's at the gas station?
stomach gets distressed when I eat at Pizza Hut Express. I'll tell you that right now. You know, the one where they have the little real quick... Maybe they don't have them around. Huh? Do they have them in the U.S.?
They're in the gas stations.
Oh, yeah, that's a perfect place for them, in the gas stations. We got that Godfather's. Of course, that's not fast food, but... are they still in business at Hess, at the Hess gas station? They ought to be doing pretty good because Rudolph Hess is making a comeback now that Bush is in. WQAM, hello.
Can I speak to Neil, please?
Speaking, a lady. Here's our first lady of the day.
Oh! You gotta put Wendy's chicken nuggets on there.
Oh, I didn't even know Wendy sold chicken nuggets.
Yeah, they're only $1. How can you beat Wendy's chicken nuggets for $1?
With a fist, probably. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Neil. Have a good
great
day.
Bye-bye. Oh, there's a lady. We actually got a lady. Of course, you noticed the tremendous increase in our lady listeners since we got Stern on the air?
The Howard Stern Show. Neil Rogers, mornings and middays. Sports around the clock. 560 QAM.
The Honey Junior.
Now, Bill Clinton for PU. Good morning. Allow me to introduce my new business venture, Pardon University. I don't care what you've done, murder, embezzlement. If you're a cop that made a woman walk home naked, if you got the loot, I'll give the charges the boot. Even though I'm no longer the President of the United States, and I possess no real power, I have found a way to jerry-rig the system.
I stole a diamond from the Zales jewelry store.
How much you got?
About $1,000.
Pardon you!
Yeah!
Hey, I embezzled $600 million from my brokerage firm.
Jackpot! How much you got?
$10,000.
Pardon you!
I lopped off my husband's willie.
Ooh, no can do, Mamacita. Try Jacoby and Myers.
Barton University is not affiliated with any institution of higher learning and may be illegal in most states.
If you've got the bread, the charges are dead. Pardon you.
Speaking of that, President Miriam Moscoso today pardoned 4 Cuban... what? This is unbelievable. This isn't the Sun Sentinel. This should teach me don't ever read something cold from the Sun Sentinel. I'll read it just the way it says. Pardon 4 Cuban demigourdes who had been accused of trying to assassinate Cuban President Fidel Castro. Well, what does that mean?
I never heard that word.
Is that a group? DEMIGRDES. 2 words. The island's government earlier had said that such a move would automatically sever relations between the 2 countries, between Panama and Fidel. Moscoso, who hands over the presidency on next Wednesday, to Martin Torrijos, pardoned Luis Posada. Oh, not Posada, not Jorge Posada. If there's one person that needs to be sent to Siberia, it's Tim McCarver. Jorge Posada. Every time he says that, I want to scream, and I don't even watch baseball. Jorge Posada. All these dumb, illiterate ex-jocks, man, they make me want to barf. Anyway, he pardoned Luis Posada Carillas, Gaspar Jimenez, Guillermo Novo, and Pedro Ramon, who I thought used to pitch for the Washington Senators years ago. Oh, Pedro Ramos. According to an announcement sent to news organizations, it wasn't immediately clear when they might be freed. Moscoso had earlier denied Cuban government claims that she had taken the decision to pardon the 4 exiles. Expressing anger at the tone of Cuban complaints, she withdrew her country's ambassador from Cuba this week, ordered the Cuban ambassador in Panama City to leave. Adios, arrivederci, don't let the door hit you in your Cuban ass on the way out. Cuban officials said that Posada, a former CIA operative, led the plan to kill Castro at a summit meeting in November 2000. It has repeatedly described him as a terrorist. No Schmidt. He once escaped from a Venezuelan prison when he was awaiting retrial on charges of helping blow up a civilian Cuban airliner. Cuba earlier had protested the 7- and 8-year prison sentences imposed on the men, saying they were not tough enough. But Panamanian courts ruled there wasn't enough evidence to accuse the men of attempted murder or on other serious charges such as possession of explosives. Well, it's a long, convoluted story, but I figured with our heavy spick factor in South Florida, a few people might care about it.
About 30, man.
Especially since Fidel was involved. Probably Miguel came running in. Oh, did you hear that? You think? But he didn't. Okay. Let's get some more of these fantastic fast food items on here, okay, so we can all go pig out this afternoon. Sounds like a winner to me. Now, how about that place in Fort Lauderdale? Every time I ask about this, everybody they feign ignorance, or maybe they just are ignorant. That place where they have those Chicago dogs on Sunrise Boulevard East in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, I'm feigning ignorance.
No, we've talked about this a million times over the years.
I've still never been there.
It's the Hot Doggery or something like that it's called.
The Hot Diggity Doggery?
Hot Diggity Doggery. And, man, they got really good dogs. Because hot dogs is not a big thing in South Florida, unlike certain places like in New York. And like Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. I guess only big in Philly. I mean, there are places that sell that stuff, but just, I don't know. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wire. To make a long story short, there's a lot of good food in South Florida, but boy, there's a lot of bad food, too. There's a lot of crap. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Hey, this is the guy a couple years ago that brought you and George Steak and Shake into the studio.
Oh, yeah, right.
I don't know if you remember me or not, but out in Vegas, out west, they have this place called In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out Burger. I know there's one right there, right by the Strip, right.
Behind the Mandalay Bay. It's
right.
Unbelievable. They have the best, everything's made fresh right there, and they have the best hamburgers in the world. I don't know if you put that on your list or not, but... No,
we're only putting South Florida places on there, but I've heard that many, many times, but it looks like such a cheesy place, if I can say that.
It is. It's a little rinky-dink place. You walk in. It takes you about, 10 minutes. It's fast food, but it takes about 10 minutes because they cook everything fresh right there. They cut their own fries. If you ever get a chance, check it out. It's really good.
If I ever went to Vegas again, which I won't, but I would. I'll put it on my list.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Pally. Yeah, I'm not going to Vegas anymore. Why do I need to go there to lose my ass when I can do it right here at Woodbine Slots? And I'm going to tell you something right now. When that thing is on a ballot this fall, and I hope my good friend Dick Feinberg's listening right now, although he probably isn't. He's probably hanging out with Sandy Fisher. The fact of the matter is that if they don't pass that thing, it is so fantastic, that facility at Woodbine. On the one side, you go in, there's the casino, beautiful casino, 1,700 slot machines. Pretty soon they're going to have the full casino with the tables and all the whole deal. And then you go up the escalator, and there's the racetrack, a beautiful plant at Woodbine. I probably should tell that story about losing my ass at the slots yesterday and going upstairs to get a cheeseburger just before I probably should tell that story. Nobody will believe it.
Well, I don't know if we have time.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, you know, these short shows anymore.
It's not a long story. I went upstairs with no intention of betting. Wednesday, there's no harness racing. They have the thoroughbreds at night at Wednesday on Woodbine. And I sat there eating my cheeseburger, and I'm looking at the monitor, and for whatever reason, lately, the number 6. I see when I watch the racing network, number 6 has been winning the thoroughbred races, and I always kind of like root for number 6 when I watch, because I really am not betting on those races. And I sat there and I looked at the board, and here's the favorite in the race is 3-1. Well, let me just tell you right now for you non-gambling people, when the favorite in the race is a lukewarm 3-1, that means there's no heavy favorite and it's wide open. Anybody, usually a long shot wins that race. So to make a long story short, the 6 horse is 10-1. He goes down to 8-1 with about 2 minutes to go, and then he goes back up to 10-1. I thought, well, that lucky number 6, I'm going to go and plunge my guts out on this horse. I made a pretty good size bet. The horse wins by 3 lengths, and I made about a lot. How do you like that?
Only you, man.
Yeah, about $1,500. I didn't buy the racing form, the program. I have no idea who the jockey was, name of the horse, and who the hell cares? After I cashed my ticket, that's all I cared about. That was just an amazing thing. Don't try it again, though. WQAM, hello.
Hi, checkers.
WQAM, hello. Nice talking to you, too. WQAM.
About Bojangles.
Bojangles what? What a moron, man. Why don't you get back get on the raft. Don't let that raft leave yet, George. Make some space for him. WQAM, hello.
Hey, your packet.
Yeah, okay, great, thanks. WQAM, hello.
Let's put that on the list.
Yeah.
Listen,
Package at Bojangles. What is it?
Hot Dog Heaven.
Hot Dog Heaven on Sunrise, right?
That's it.
That's excellent stuff. Steak and shakes fries beat the heck out of McDonald's fries any day.
Okay, we'll put it on there for you, Pally. We'll put it right on there. Get a new phone. Fries at Steak and Shake. Now, I think we also probably ought to put the Chicago dog at the what did he say it was?
Heavenly Hot Dog.
Heavenly Hot Dog. Is that it?
That's it.
Heavenly Hot Dog?
I think so.
That's not what he said. I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Hot Dog Heaven. Hot Dog Heaven.
Hot Dog Heaven, that's it. It's right across from that Lincoln Mercury dealership there on Sunrise. You know where that is.
Sure, right next to Pete's House of Meat.
Yeah, right. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Neil, shameless request, Neil. Please, Neil. The bridge tender.
Yeah. WQAM, hello. It must be time for the circle jerk because all your Julios are now sitting around. That's how many we had in the last 15 minutes now?
About 30, man.
All sitting around, passing the phone around. They're passing it around on that instrument, too. Have a good time, boys. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, what about Muscle Beach Lemonade? That's the best wieners.
Yeah, right. See what I'm saying? What did I just get through telling you? All your
gotta
people,
hurry
man.
before lunch ends.
WQAM, hello.
Hello, is this Neil?
Yes, sir.
Neil, out of all the people in Fort Lauderdale, how can you forget about Reno's?
Reno's isn't there anymore. It's been gone for ages.
That's one on Sunrise, but they still have the one down on Old US 1.
They do?
Yes, sir.
But we're not talking about places. We're talking about items on the menu. What would you put on there?
The Chicago Italian beef sandwich or the Italian sausage.
Italian sausage sounds right up my alley. Okay, thanks, Pally. I didn't. That's right. Somebody called and told us that because I never think of the name. That was a changing neighborhood there. Andrews Avenue and Oakland Park Boulevard, I believe, is where Reno's used to be. And it's a changing hood, and they flew the hell out of there. Italian sausage at Reno's. Got it? Spelled just like Janet would like?
We got it.
We got it. All you people with these fries, man. What is the story with that?
Well, you're not crazy about
I wanted
fries.
to pass this along, and I realized, like the Chicago dog, it's got the real green relish, and it's got onions and all the accoutrements. I mean, a hot dog is a hot dog, although there are good ones and bad ones, but it's the accoutrements that make it great. But generally speaking, any food item that you have to smear with a whole bunch of stuff, It's not that good. It's like when you go to Ruth Chris and you have a steak. If you order the steak sauce at Ruth Chris, they probably, or at any great steak restaurant, they raise their eyebrow. And although at Peter Luger's in New York, they probably don't raise their eyebrow because they got their own Peter's Luger Steakhouse, which is unbelievably great. But at Ruth Chris, you don't need steak sauce or Worcestershire, any of that crap, right?
Right.
You don't need it because the meat is so tender and juicy and fantastic and delicious. But when you have to slather stuff on it, we're like French fries. You know anybody that eats fries just plain?
McDonald's fries, sure, all the time.
You eat McDonald's fries
the
plain?
whole bag plain.
With
sure.
no mayonnaise?
Nothing. No mayonnaise, no Peter Luger steak sauce, nothing.
I'll be damned. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, hi, Richie, cell phone.
Here's Richie on a cell phone, hello.
Who's this?
Neil.
How about those White Castles up in Deerfield?
White Castle is in Deerfield?
Yep.
Get out of here. There's no White Castle anymore.
No, I think it's called the Little Red Caboose.
Oh, Little Red Caboose. Oh, get out of here. Even John at Little Old... what, you want to put it on there, the burgers at Little Red Caboose?
No.
I didn't think so.
Beat me to it.
Yeah. Although, since that brings back memories, bad ones of Petey Lenny.
I don't care what Mommy says about the meat. Daddy says shut up and keep on chewing.
Listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM. Buttheads, it's the 1 to 2 hour.
Bye, tell me bye-bye.
I think the audience should know the complaints have been pouring in from all over town about Geldy not being on the air anymore. Does anybody believe that?
No.
How many complaints have we had so far?
About who?
2 minutes after 1 at 560 WQM, the Mad Doggy.
All right.
Coming along at 2 this afternoon, Jim Mandich. What a president. This story here, if this doesn't, I don't know what it takes. Do they need to have these people come on here and say, okay, this is all a bunch of political crap that we made up. It's all contrived. It was all geared to schmear the queer. One of President Bush's top lawyers resigned from his campaign yesterday after disclosing that he'd given legal advice to a veterans group airing TV ads challenging John Kerry's Vietnam War service. The guidance included checking ad scripts, the group said. One of Bush's top lawyers checking ad scripts. But, of course, they had nothing to do with it.
Of course.
Benjamin Ginsburg, self-hating the evil Jew, who also represented Bush in the 2000 Florida recount that made the Republican president, told Bush in a letter that he felt his legal work for the Swift Boat Veterans for Truth had become a distraction for the re-election campaign. Right. I've decided to resign as national counsel to your campaign to ensure that the giving of legal advice to decorated military veterans, which was entirely within the boundaries of the law, doesn't distract from the real issues upon which you and the country should be focusing, Ginsburg wrote, and which both candidates ought to be talking about right now, as opposed to who quién es más macho and who is the greater military hero, the AWOL president or the volunteering John Kerry, with all those medals. The Kerry campaign portrayed Ginsburg's departure as another sign of ties between the Bush campaign and the veterans group, which has been airing ads accusing Kerry of exaggerating his record in Vietnam. The sudden resignation of Bush's top lawyer doesn't end the extensive web of connections between George Bush and the group trying to smear John Kerry's military record, said Kerry Edwards' campaign manager Mary Beth Cahill. In fact, it only confirms the extent of those connections. A senior House Democrat, Michigan Representative John Dingell, sent a letter asking Attorney General John Ashcroft to investigate the possible illegal coordination between the two. The Bush campaign and veterans group have denied any coordination. In other words, they lie like crazy. They lie through their teeth. They're full of it. Smear and schmear, that's all they know. That's their only chance. Just like the only chance they had to beat John McCain, it worked like a charm because the American people are dumber than a box of rocks. Now, I'm going to get all this stuff in here this hour, okay?
Is there anything else?
Anything else, Batman? Don't get me started. Now, see, you're the troublemaker. I try to mind my own business. I'm delighted that we got Stern on the air. It's a great lead-in, and we work a lot less most days. I'm not too happy. In fact, quite to the contrary of what Mo and certain other morons have been suggesting. Not only am I not unhappy about the fact that he runs until whenever he gets done, I'm only unhappy when it runs short. And when the show ends at 10 o'clock or before, like it's going to be doing tomorrow and all next week because he's on vacation. Those days, I'm not a happy camper. Because when somebody, it's just not right. When somebody says to you, okay, you can work like 3 hours, 3.25 hours, whatever, and we'll get you paid the same. Then all of a sudden they say, well, the next several days you're going to be back to 4 hours. Not good. Doesn't make for a good state of mind, you know what? Because 4 hours is too long anyway.
That's right.
The chief critic of John Kerry's military record told President Nixon in 1971 that he had been in Cambodia in a swift boat during the Vietnam War, a claim at odds with his recent statements that he was not. I was in Cambodia, sir. I worked along the border, said John E. O'Neill in a conversation that was taped by the former president's secret recording system. The tape is stored at the National Archives in College Park, Maryland. In an interview with the Associated Press on Wednesday, O'Neill did not dispute what he said to Nixon, but insisted he was never actually in Cambodia. I think I made it very clear that I was on the border, which is exactly where I was for 3 months. I was about 100 yards from Cambodia, O'Neill said, in clarifying the June 16, 1971 conversation with Nixon. Chad Clanton, a spokesman for the Democratic presidential candidate, said the tape is just the latest in a long line of lies and false statements from a group trying to smear John Kerry's military service. Again, they're being proven liars with their own words. It's time for President Bush to stand up and specifically condemn this smear. Hold your breath right now. Take a deep breath. Yeah, and I'll let you know when you can let it out. Brother. Speaking of liars, David Korn writes Bush overstated his military record. Oh, no. Almost enough to make me want to play AWOL Bush on the next break. A group of veterans motivated by 30 years
about 30, man,
of resentment accused John Kerry of exaggerating his Vietnam wartime service, writes David Korn, and their attack makes the front pages and cable gabfests. But when a news report showed that George W. Bush had overstated his military experience, Bush escaped without a scratch. That's your media for you, man. The media sucks. The American media blows. David Korn writes, I'm not referring to the Bush's missing time in the Air National Guard. That episode did receive much attention, although only in the past year, not when the issue was first raised during the 2000 campaign. Back then, Bush was disingenuous about his Guard service. In his campaign autobiography, he wrote that he had completed his pilot training in 1970 while assigned to an air base in Houston and continued flying with my unit for the next several years. Well, how do you fly without your unit? You cut it off?
Well, in his case.
But as the Boston Globe revealed, he stopped flying during his final 18 months of service in 1972 and 1973. Bush had been grounded after failing to take a flight exam and won permission to train with a unit in Alabama where he did no flying. There are no records proving he showed up for duty at all in Alabama, but Bush insists that he did. Putting aside the controversy over Bush's Air National Guard service or dereliction of duty, there was another instance when Bush clearly did not speak truthfully about his military record. In 1978, Bush, while running for Congress in West Texas, produced campaign literature that claimed he had served in the U.S. Air Force. According to a 1999 AP report, Bush's congressional campaign ran a pullout ad in the Lubbock Avalanche Journal that declared he had served in the U.S. Air Force and the Texas Air National Guard, where he piloted the F-102 aircraft. Bush lost that congressional race, but 21 years later, the AP questioned him about the ad. The news outlet had good reason to do so. Bush had never served in the Air Force. He'd only been in the Air National Guard. But when AP asked Bush if he had been justified in claiming service in the Air Force, Bush, then the governor of Texas and a presidential candidate, said, I think so, yes. I was in the Air Force for over 600 days. Karen Hughes, a spokeswoman, maintained that when Bush attended flight school for the Air National Guard from 68 to 69, he was considered to be on active duty for the Air Force, and that several times afterward he had been placed on alert, which also qualified as active duty for the Air Force. All told, she said Bush had logged 607 days of training and alerts. As an officer in the Air Force and the Air National Guard, she told the AP, he was serving on active duty in the Air Force. But this explanation was wrong. Says who? The Air Force, as the AP reports. The Air Force says that Air National Guard members are considered guardsmen on active duty while receiving pilot training. They are not, however, counted as members of the overall active duty Air Force. Anyone in the Air National Guard is always considered a guardsman and not a member of the active duty Air Force, according to an Air Force spokeswoman in the Pentagon. A National Guard member may be called to active duty for pilot training or another temporary assignment and receive active duty pay at the time, but they remain Guard members. The AP report said it may be a question of semantics, but today I checked with two spokespersons for the U.S. Air Force, and each confirmed that an active duty member of the Air National Guard is not considered a member of the U.S. Air Force. If a member of the Air National Guard is in pilot training, says Captain Crispin Lesperance of the U.S. Air Force Media Relations Office, they would remain on the Guard books. They would be counted as Guard, not an active duty Air Force member. So where was all the hollering about Bush's exaggeration of his military service? True, Bush was hyping his military record way back in 1978, but he repeated and defended the misrepresentation in 99 while campaigning for the White House. And no doubt Kerry's critics would consider any remark Kerry made 26 years ago fair game. Admiral Roy Hoffman, founder of the Swift Boat Veterans for Truth, recently said that his group is not politically motivated. It would make no difference if John Kerry were a Republican, Democrat, or an independent. Swift Boat Veterans would still be speaking the truth concerning John Kerry's military service record. But are any of Kerry's accusers willing to criticize Bush for falsely representing his service? Kerry, who volunteered to go to Vietnam and won 5 medals, has made his Vietnam service a central element of his campaign for the presidency, so there's nothing improper about examining his account of his Vietnam days, as long as such scrutiny is done in an honest and accurate fashion. But Bush overstated his own military record, which involved no combat, no daring do, no wounds, no enemy fire, for political purposes, and when he was caught doing so, he stuck to a phony story. Yet no firestorm ensued. Will Republican funders now underwrite a group called Air Force Veterans for Truth that will demand that Bush withdraw his claim of membership in the Air Force? Don't expect such a shot soon, writes David Korn in The Nation. How do you like that? Well, speaking of that, when's Defoe starting on QM? Speaking of corn.
Any minute now.
That corn sure is special, ain't it? What's the best food item sold at fast food joints? That's our poll question today. 432 votes. And you want to know why we don't have more than that? Because we could probably have a lot more items on here. But you know what? Too bad. I got too many fish to fry. Milkshakes, Steak and Shake, 77. Fries at McDonald's, 71. Isn't that interesting the way that's been all day long?
Yeah, not surprising, though.
Your fries at McDonald's have never been able to overtake my shakes at Shake and Quake.
Just wait.
Burrito Supreme from Taco Bell has moved on up to 40. We're moving on up. Chicken sandwich at Wendy's, 38. Hold the paprika, please. Cheeseburger at Wendy's, 35. Preferably the triple cheese with lots of bacon and onions and lots of really hard, gut-wrenching stuff. So you can join Dave Thomas. You know, that was an amazing... I saw that on Biography Channel one night, a few weeks ago. Dave Thomas.
Yeah.
An amazing story. An even more amazing story was the Ray Kroc story about the McDonald's thing and about that... guy he bought out in California. Anyway, we don't have time for that, but it's pretty interesting. Cheeseburger at Wendy's, 35. Subs from Quiznos, which is excellent, 34. Charburger at Charhut, 23. The mini burgers at Crystal, 18. Chili at Wendy's, 17. Jamocha Shake at Arby's, 17. Fries at Checkers, 13. The bacon, egg, and the cheese biscuit at McDonald's, 12. Biscuits at Popeyes, 8. All you goyim love them biscuits, man. They'll kill you. They're like lard. Crow sandwich at Burger King, 6. That should be much higher. The slaw at KFC's got 5. Banana shake at Checkers, 4. Italian sausage at Charhut, 4. Grilled sub at Blimpie, 4. BK broiler at Burger King, 3. The hot dog at Hot Dog Heaven, 2. We should have put the, whatever. The Chicago dog. The chicken nuggets at Wendy's, 1. Italian sausage at Reno's, and the fries at Steak and Shake. I got the big... so far.
You're listening to Neil Rogers on 560 QAM.
Are you drudge packing?
From acclaimed documentary filmmaker George W. Bush comes a film about the real Michael Moore and the real reason behind his invasion of convenience store snack aisles.
Michael Moore is a weapon of mass destruction when it comes to ding-dongs and funny bones.
Fahrenheit 7/11, exposing the man who is becoming the most hated figure in the Arab world.
My hostess cupcake display was full just yesterday. Then Michael Moore came in and devoured everything.
From Washington to the Middle East and every place in between that sells Slim Jims and Klondike bars, you'll find a fat man with a bad beard and baseball cap hell-bent on controlling it all.
He won't stop until he eats it all. Michael Moore is a real terrorist.
Fahrenheit 7/11.
Excuse me, Congressman. We're recruiting the children of politicians to work in convenience stores when Michael Moore comes in with a hankering for Twinkies. Sir, please come back. It'll only take a second.
Fahrenheit 7/11. Now showing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Remember I said I was going to play this?
You remember.
I forgot. But then I remembered.
All right.
George Bush, there's a place you can land so that you can avoid Vietnam. Now you said you served active duty just fine. Might you be absent in your mind? George Bush, your position's at stake, cause John Kerry is out to seal your fate. It's those questions about the National Guard that might leave your reputation scarred. It's fun to say you're not AWOL, and you can prove you're not AWOL. What a funny thing, the military can't find where you were in that 1 year's time. You partied and you went AWOL. Your daddy helped you go AWOL.
Absolutely.
If you'd only come clean with a story that's real, you might earn back voter appeal.
Yeah, you gotta hand it to Karl Rove and those Nazis, man. They know how to turn it around. Here's a lying pack of crap of draft dodgers, and they've taken Kerry's illustrious war service, which is probably one of the best damn things he's got going for him, and turned it around. It's just amazing. Oh, here's some bad news. Charges possible for Dave Matthews Band.
Uh-oh.
Isn't that bad news?
No, not really. I didn't like him.
We're supposed to say that because I don't like them either. Oh, none of us like Dave Matthews
Right.
Band.
Good news.
Well, that makes us out of touch with the young, hip goofballs.
No.
Oh, yeah. No, you're supposed to love the Dave Matthews Band.
No.
Well, we won't. Can't stand the Dave Matthews Band. They suck, to be honest with you.
Yeah, big time.
And in fact, you can't complain about their music because they never made any. But anyway, right?
Right.
They really blow. Authorities were considering criminal charges yesterday against the Dave Matthews Band and one of its tour bus drivers for allegedly dumping human waste from a bus into the Chicago River, dousing a tour boat filled with passengers.
Oh, no.
They must know that guy in Montana. Holy crap. Oh, there he goes again, see? The announcement came a day after the state sued the band and driver Stefan Wohl, accusing them of violating state water pollution and public nuisance laws. The lawsuit seeks $70,000 in civil penalties. Chicago police said surveillance footage from nearby buildings shows a bus crossing the graded bridge August 8th as the tour boat passed underneath. Certainly, this is the bus that discharged this fluid, Commander Michael Chasen said. He said the driver told police he crossed the bridge around the time of the incident, but didn't admit dumping the waste.
What a waste.
More than 100 people on the architecture tour were showered with foul-smelling waste. The Attorney General's office said no one was seriously injured. I can't stand anybody with a foul-smelling waste. The band was waiting to see the video surveillance footage and other evidence before making a judgment. Dave Matthews Band spokesman John Vlaughton said yesterday. Police were working with the Attorney General's office to determine if any charges ought to be filed. Howard Lerner, the executive director of the Chicago-based Environmental Law and Policy Center, said criminal charges could include violations of public nuisance laws and ordinances to protect public and health safety. Isn't that great? They were dumping waste. Now, it doesn't say whether it was intentional or whether he just had to dump it somewhere or like they were playing a funny, or it doesn't really say
I
that.
assume they were just dumping it somewhere and it was
how do you know that?
bad luck. I'm just guessing.
Bad luck?
Bad timing.
Seems to me that they got really good luck to it with the talent that they got. Goes to show you it's not just the old farts you can put anything over on in this country. Look for the QM van today. We're going to try to put one over on you folks. Look for the QM van. Probably Miguel will be there. Better late than never, Miguel. We finally get this promo in here almost at the end of the show. From 5 to 7 at the Publix at 14375 Miramar Parkway. Stop by to spin the wheel for prizes and register to win a pair of Dolphin Titan tickets at the Presidente Beer Display. Speaking of spinning the wheel, I'm so glad that we got this promo because it reminded me. A friend of mine was telling me the other day, remember we were discussing the slots at the Hard Rock Casino in Hollywood there?
Yeah, the Dykes too.
Is that Hollywood or Dania? That's Hollywood, I guess. Not really sure.
Where?
Hollywood.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's Hollywood, the Res.
Anyway, come to find out that they're not exactly what has been represented to us. Now, have either one of you been there?
No.
No. Okay. Now, it's been represented that these are they're not like with the spinning wheels, you know, like, who did that song? David Clayton Thomas and there was a group
Blood, Sweat and Tears.
Oh, very good. Blood, Sweat and Tears. They don't have the spinning reels. What they have is like a TV screen.
Yes.
And it's got like kind of animated, not even like those animated digital video games that they have at casinos, but like I don't know how to describe it. And then on top of all of this, there's like bingo balls. You have your balls on top, right?
You're asking me?
Well, that's what has been explained to me. And then I guess after you hit your spin on the thing. On the TV screen, then what you win or don't win is determined by the spin of your balls. Right. So maybe somebody can explain that to me, but I just don't get that. It doesn't sound very exciting to me. The good thing is they do have the new technology with the slips that come out as opposed to handling all the freaking coins. That coin thing, man, having to keep running to the
a lot of people like that. They like
Why?
that effect because it's like money coming at you.
Oh, God. Oh, you know the people I cannot stand out? Of course, there's all kinds of superstitions in casinos.
Oh, really?
There's one old Indian guy. He hits the button with his elbow. I'm serious, with his elbow.
I'm surprised that's all you've
stuff
seen.
that goes on. Now, some of the people believe that the machine knows whether you're feeding it coins or if you put the credits in, you know.
That's right.
So, which of course is totally ludicrous. The machine isn't sitting there thinking.
No.
It's got computer chips in it, but it's not thinking. But nevertheless,
there's a ghost in the machine.
So a lot of these people have put in their $100 and then they'll hit the change out thing, and so all the coins come plopping down in. And when you've been sitting there for about 5 hours and you can barely see straight and you're losing your ass or whatever. It's one of the most annoying things to have to put up with these people. Plunk, plunk, plunk. You're right. Because they want to put in the coins.
They like the feel of it.
They like the feel of that hard metal in their hand or something. So maybe somebody can explain to us what kind of crap, phony slot machines they got out there at the Hard Rock.
Well, it's just like
that's why we need to pass
lever.
that slot thing for the pari-mutuels desperately in November. What?
Like the people that pull the lever even though you don't have to in Vegas. You know, you just press the button, but they like to pull the lever anyway.
Trust me when I tell you, not only do we have people that pull the lever, we have people that crank it like...
Yeah.
And what pisses me off about that is that the whole row of machines, I always play the Wheel of Fortune thing, that's my game, even though, and the whole row of machines is shaking. And you're thinking to yourself, quit doing that because you're screwing around with my thing there. You know, you're going to be interfering with the lay of the land. And it's just so freaking annoying. They have to pull it and yank it. And then we got the old Indian guy. He likes to hold it, pull it, and he thinks, you know, and then he puts his hand over the glass, you know. Oh, my God. And he's a nice guy, but I always joke with him, hey, I'm not into the hocus pocus, okay? And he just, I think he's a little offended. Of course, he also has Vicks breath.
Oh, what is that?
Tell me what that's all about.
Alcoholics.
Huh?
Alcoholics.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Well, what does that mean?
They suck on cough drops and drink lots of diet soda. It's sublimation.
No. This is not cough drops. This is Vicks breath. He's got like, I don't know.
Alcoholics.
Really?
I think so. John M. always smelled like Vicks.
And what about the hairy penis?
You told me what that smelled like.
27 past 1 at QAM.
You're listening to Neil Rogers on 560 QAM.
Hey Jude, I bet you God will be coming to get you. He won't take just anyone, only good Christian sheep and no heaps. Start hanging on that Bible and change your party to Republican too. Ah, sense of God. the rapture. No pants on in the hereafter. He takes all your clothes off because in heaven you're naked. Not much to do up there. No computer, no cable, TV. You get wings like an angel, and the others just as boring as you. The sense of God when He has the rapture. With no pants on in the hereafter.
I have no life. What do I do now?
Well, I don't know.
Got a magazine or something?
Yeah, but you have angel wings.
Can I fly with it?
Doesn't work that way. Sorry.
26 till 2, and that Demir Des, whatever that thing was in that story about the Cubans in Panama.
Yeah.
Eric emailed me that the definition is like absent, like exilios, I guess is what it would be, like the exiles.
Never heard of it.
In Panama. Well, you did now, the damn with this one here, this one there. I don't know what it is. So that's what that's all about. A former personnel assistant to Chicago doctor William Kennedy Smith filed a lawsuit yesterday accusing the nephew of the late John Kennedy of sexually assaulting her inside his North Side home in 1999. Poor William Kennedy Smith.
Can't get a break.
The suit filed in Cook County Circuit Court yesterday afternoon named Smith as the defendant, seeks in excess of $50,000. The plaintiff's attorney, Kevin O'Reilly, could not be reached for comment. In December of 91, Smith was acquitted of rape and battery charges following a televised trial in West Palm Beach, which we all know well, all too well, right?
Right.
Wasn't Flea Bailey the attorney?
I think he was around there somewhere. We got some good bits out of it, though.
Did we really? Probably some that we can't play anymore. Have we got any that we can play?
Who knows?
We got, what is that thing called? The Paul Casanova one.
Bill and Ted something or other?
Is that what it is? I don't think there's anything in there. Oh, yeah, well, we can say Poontang. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. There's no...
anymore.
In fact, I think they're saying Poontang.
Yeah.
The story that rocked Palm Beach in the world.
Uncle Ted, dude. Throw on some boxer shorts, let's cruise our bar, and rage with some babes. Excellent.
Power, money, women, and poontang.
Uncle Ted, dude. Let's use our infamous last names to impress these babes and do the wild thing at the compound. No way, Bill. Just wait, Ted. Excellent.
They're rich, they're powerful. They like to swim naked. William Kennedy Smith and Ted Kennedy in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure Part 2, The Next Genitalia.
Excellent!
Coming soon to a theater near you. Rated X for excellent.
Oh, we didn't mention that Rick Sanchez is going to CNN.
Oh, gee, how did we forget that?
Yeah. Rick Sanchez is going to CNN. Anybody care?
No.
And that guy he hit is still dead. That's number one. Number two, we got to find out about those slots at the casino at the Hard Rock in Hollywood. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Maybe somebody who understands what real slot machines are, like in Vegas and Atlantic City, and like real casinos, as opposed to whatever kind of crap that they're trying to put over on the public there. We'll find out. WQAM, hello.
Hey, what's up, Neil?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Hey, you know what the difference between a date with a Kennedy and a...
Okay, great. WQAM, hello.
Die, you son of a bitch.
Okay, I will. I'm working on it. Someday. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. This is Ellie Brecker from the Herald.
Oh, Ellie Brecker? Why do you sound so sad, Ellie? Jesus Christ, what do you want?
It's you. How are you?
I'm okay. What are you calling on the call-in line for?
Because it's the only way to get you.
Oh.
Not the only way.
Well, I am calling because I'm writing about Randy, and I wanted to talk to you.
Why? All the Japs, all the Yentas have to stick together? Is that it?
Yes. Well, you know, I hadn't seen her in quite a while, and now that she's made it big in the Apple, you know. But she couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah.
So, have you listened to her?
No, I have not.
Well, why not?
Well, first of all, I'm in Toronto, so I couldn't hear her if I wanted to. And secondly, she's on the air on her tape at the same time that I'm on.
Well, that's true.
And thirdly, I have heard her when she was on J&O, and what she's doing is of no interest to me, but don't quote me on that. Well, no, I mean, it's nothing personal. What do I want to hear that for? I don't listen to the radio.
Well, I thought you had satellite XM and probably spent every waking minute of your life hunkered
Right.
down
First of all, I don't have a car here, so if I have satellite XM, it must be sitting on my patio out here because I don't have such a thing. I don't have a car here. It's a real city. You don't need a car.
Well, she's doing quite well, and it'll probably warm your heart that David Ross has nothing but good things to say about her.
No, that actually, quite frankly, does just the opposite. If David Ross had bad things to say, I'd feel better for her because he's a backstabbing weasel piece of crap is what he is. And you can quote me on that. He and Pete Bolger are the biggest two assassins in the history of broadcasting. Now, I'm trying to get some information on the Hollywood, the Hard Rock Casino. You don't go there. You're too cheap to go gamble.
You're right.
Okay, well,
so what do you want to know?
About what?
About the Hard Rock Casino.
I want to know about the slots, about what those machines are really all about. They're not real slot machines. They're ersatz, like everything else in that town.
Well, I have a friend who goes there obsessively and plays the slots, and he said they were hard to figure out at first.
Yeah.
But, he usually breaks about even.
I hear they only have one record that they play in the background constantly, 24 hours a day. Conway Twitty, It's Only Make Believe is what they play.
I don't know about
well, listen, say hi to the goddess, Ellie.
I certainly will.
How you doing? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm hanging in.
Oh, good. That's all we can all do.
Yeah, I faxed you a note after your mom died. I don't know if you ever got it, but...
Yeah, George mentioned it to me. Thanks.
Yeah. All righty.
Take care, Ellie.
Have fun in Toronto.
See ya. Say
Bye.
hi to what's her name. Okay, see you.
Bye.
Wow. So now, do you understand what they're all about now that Ellie explained it to us?
No.
You are listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560.
Suck it in and hold it.
This looks like a good spot, Carl. You shut up the keyboard. I'll put down this here portable tap board. Yes, Mr. President. Carl, there's a hand sticking out of the ground here. Just walk around it, sir. Okay. Ready? Yes, sir. 1, 2. That's 3, Mr. President. Oh.
3. What do you think you're doing, pal? No one's allowed on ground zero. Now beat it.
He has every right to dance on these graves. That's right. We're having usher convention here, you know. Now watch this. Carl? Yes, sir? I had too many bears this morning. I got to go. Fine, sir. Anywhere you like. Carl? Yes, sir. Would you help me out here? I put my pants on backwards again.
145. Now, how many guesses do I get who's on the bat line?
3.
Joe Costello.
Nope.
Jeff Cohen. Jeff Conine. Who is that?
Dick Feinberg.
Oh, here's my good close personal friend, Dick Feinberg, who's at the Francis O'Hare School of Racing. How you doing, Dick?
I'm okay. Hey, when are you coming down to visit?
This week.
Thanks for the warning.
Next week.
I hear you've, little birdie told me you've been talking about slot machines in Amendment 4 today.
Right.
Well,
I just mentioned it briefly. You don't think I got any response to that, do you?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I want to keep stoke the fires.
No, well, you weren't listening, so I got to tell you, at the risk of boring the audience, I got to tell you an amazing story. I was at the slots of Woodbine, which I've been spending a lot of time there, losing my ass, but having a great time the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there last night, not doing really well, and I went upstairs because it's such a beautiful plant. The casino's got 1,700 machines, and it's just spotless. It's great.
It is. It's wonderful.
And I get on the escalator, and I went upstairs just to get a sandwich, not to bet, because Wednesday night is thoroughbreds, and I'm not really that much interested anymore in those. And I'm sitting there eating my cheeseburger, and I'm watching the monitor, and 5 minutes to post time, and here's a horse. To make a long story short, just picked a number. I watched the odds, 14 to 1 shot. I made a very nice bet on it, much larger than I usually would, and the horse won by 3 lengths. $31 horse.
Hey, better be
so
good.
I just mentioned that in passing, but it's a beautiful facility, and what I was saying before is that anybody who would vote against slots, I mean, it's such a great thing. I mean, you go in there, you can play a little bit of the slots, you can go up, watch the racing. It's just great, and of course it makes for great racing. The purses are fantastic. I don't have to tell you about that.
No, it's that's the envy of everybody in the harness industry. What they've done in the province of Ontario, and all the little tracks plus the big ones like Woodbine are just they're show places.
Yes, and even the little tracks have got the slots, and they got beautiful, like you said, they're all beautiful.
Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer. I mean, all the machines are here. They're around us. They're untaxed. They're unregulated. They're unlicensed. We should be getting some money to help our schools, help our kids.
Amen. Well, I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to go out and rustle up some votes.
Well, that's good.
While they're voting for Kerry, they can vote for slots.
And don't forget we're racing Fridays and Saturdays now, so don't show up during the week and be disappointed.
No simulcasting?
Oh yeah, we're simulcasting. Simulcasting the other 5 days and nights, and poker on Friday and Saturday too.
There you go. Nice free spot for Pompano Park from Dick Feinberg. Thanks, Dick.
Well, I had to listen to the whole break, so I figured I was entitled to 30 seconds.
I'll see you next weekend.
Okay, thanks.
Bye. Dick Feinberg at Pompano Park, great guy, and they're doing a nice job there. But if we get the slots, man, it'll be fantastic. Did that answer my question?
No.
No. We'll get an answer. WQM, hello.
Hi, is this George?
No, it's Neil.
Oh, hi, Neil.
How are you?
I wanted to talk to you about, first of all, the Hard Rock Hotel.
Great.
And also about slot machines at Parimutuel, specifically Greyhound tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Hard Rock, and the slot machines are not like what they have in Vegas. They don't have video poker. They only have these weird games that the odds are really not regulated very well, I don't think. But the place was packed, and it's a beautiful hotel. And until they get real stuff like video poker, roulette, and things like that, it's not going to be really a real casino.
But, I mean, how do the machines work? I mean, people have tried to describe to me about these bingo balls they have on top of the machine, and after you make the pull, I don't understand it at all.
It's supposedly they say that I don't know how first of all, I don't know how it works, but it's supposed to be a game of luck versus skill. And if it's skill, it's not legal. If it's luck, it's legal. So that's why they make it more like bingo than a regular slot machine. Don't ask. I really can't understand.
Wait a minute. You tell me that a regular slot machine is a game with skill? I'd sure like to know how that works.
Yeah, well, that's what they say.
That Indian's using.
I see.
But what I'm really calling about was about the vote towards putting slot machines at pari-mutuels, and the biggest problem, or that is what's most against. Let's see, how am I saying this? The dog tracks, which are failing, they want to put slot machines there to boost attendance. And in fact, we really want the Greyhound tracks to go out of business because of the cruelty to the animals.
Oh yeah, well, that's a separate issue, but I mean.
No, but that's the big issue. That is the big issue.
No, it's not the big issue at all. And you're one of those animal huggers, and that's fine. I love dogs too, but I understand what you're talking about. But boy, leave it to our crowd, man. Leave it to it's like the PETA people. It's the same thing, you know. God, does that frost my ass? Always some cockamamie reason. So in other words, let's sacrifice the horse. And I'm saying if I would have mentioned the horses, she'd have probably talked about the cruelty to horses too. You know, cruelty to everybody. God, all freaking mighty. Like I said, Dick, maybe I might not be coming back so soon.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560.
Anytown at 560 WQAM. Everybody hates everybody all the time.
Absolutely.
That's the way of life in Florida. Foreheads pop with veins in anger, and hostile bedrooms down. Everybody hates everybody all the time. Riding on intolerance and fear.
You turd.
It's where disenfranchised congregate, and they don't want you here. You'll find their attitude quite sour. With a machete they threaten to slice you to the bone. stand in the gridlock of rush hour. Out the window, someone calls you Matacone.
Oh my God.
Everybody hates everybody all the time. Know how bloody blessing do.
I'm dying over here.
Something in the breeze is wafting from Pompano.
Oh, nothing personal there, Dick. Anyway, that woman, man, what a way to end the show today, huh? That's the South Florida effing way, man. Any reason to be negative about something, you know? If you want the dog tracks to close down because you think that there's cruelty to the greyhounds, then work out that as a separate issue. But don't penalize everybody else, okay? Jesus, God.
Who's that on the hotline?
WQM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
What are you doing on the air, Rich?
Well, I think I may be able to help you with that slot machine thing.
Okay, I got about a minute.
I know you don't have much time. Basically, I think it's a two-tiered system with the, it's a game called the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
And you play it like a regular slot machine, but if you're able to hit like 3 spins, you know, it comes up spin, 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 you go into a phase 2, which above the game is a big wheel that spins that tells you how much additional money you're going to win. So, which could be up to 1,000 times your bet. So if you bet a quarter, you can win 1,000 quarters. Or if you had bet $1, you can win up to $1,000. So at that point, after the first time, you know you're going to win money. It's a psychological thing. Now you're anticipating how much am I going to win.
Yeah.
And that's how that.
But it's not the real Wheel of Fortune game like they have in Vegas or.
No, nothing
so
like.
How'd you like my horse story last night?
I heard that. That's great.
And for me, I made a very sizable bet, which I'll tell you when I see you in a few days.
I'm sure you did. But
yes, I did.
Let's not get too excited because coming to Pompano, we can't anticipate.
I'll be back to my smaller bets at Pompano.
You better believe it.
Okay, I'll see you next week.
Look forward to seeing you.
Okay, take care, Rich. Okay, there's Fat Rich with his insight and outside. I still don't understand it. 535 votes on the poll. Gee, I didn't get to the thing about minor league baseball employee fired after cracking gay jokes during ball game, yada yada, Atlantic City, and Olympic chiefs asked Bush to pull election. I didn't get to those. Well, I had more. I had anything else?
Well, you have lots of time.
No, we don't take extra time. We just do our thing. 535 votes on the poll. What's the best food item sold at fast food joints? Milkshake at Steak and Shake, 93. I'm so proud. The fries at McDonald's, 86. Fries are for Goyam. Burrito Supreme at Taco Bell, 47. Cheeseburger at Wendy's, triple please, 44. The chicken sandwich at Wendy's, 42. And subs from Quiznos, 40. Charburger from Char, 32. Jamocha Shake at Arby's, 25. Don't forget this weekend.
I won't.
Trust me when I tell you.
All right.
Can't beat it with a stick.
Bye, bye, bye!